ought to be.
The word decent doesn't apply to me.
Hello, everybody. How you doing out there? It's nice to see you all. Welcome to the show. We just got done watching with some of you the latest episode of Strange New Worlds. I'd like to say hello to all of my co-paddlists and let them say hi, especially so we can see if we have good sound tonight. It seems like I feel like I'm okay about it. Hello, everyone out there. Hello, Radioactive. You get to react quickly first. How you feeling after that big helping of humble pie? Or was it a shit sandwich? I don't know what to call it.
What the hell was that? I don't know what I watched. Well,
I was grateful.
Even that.
Yeah. Wow.
I think we might need to give you a touch more volume there, Radioactive. I think I hear your righteous anger, and I'm going to turn you up just a little bit. There we go. We'll see what happens. Now I got you. Oh, I'm glad you spoke. You're slightly too loud. Now I am controlling the volume, so
okay.
It's 100% is 50% on this one, so I think 120 is probably your setting. You're right about there. We'll figure it out. All right. And next, Resolute Germ. So, Germ, are you done brushing your teeth after what happened after watching the show?
Brushing, scrubbing out my eyeballs. This was particularly offensive because this was supposed to be their wheelhouse. This is the type of story those idiots are supposed to be good at, and they fell flat on their face.
You had an idea what kind of story this was? What the hell kind of story was this? I want to know. Germ has inside information.
This is a sitcom ripoff. Yeah. This is Freaky Friday sitcom.
They've done 4 or 5 Freaky Fridays. I guess Alex Kurtzman really likes it. And they did have Jamie Lee Curtis in Section 31. So like he must have been kicking himself. He's like, oh no, she's in the wrong time frame. Not that I guess he didn't care. He called her and she just didn't pick up the phone. My God. Okay, so JT, you soon you will have center stage and the center seat to tell everyone what a wonderful show this is and how much fun you had. How did you enjoy this wonderful episode of Strange New Worlds, episode 8, ladies and gentlemen? The fifth,
first time.
or is this 4th or 5th joke? The 4th intentional joke.
Yeah, I think so. So the first time I watched this, it reminded me of that time where I had to go into a really dingy bathroom at a restaurant and just take the worst, like, bile, mucus-filled dump that, just wrecked my guts, and then come back out.
So we're talking like train spotting.
Yeah, and then come back out and sit at a table full of, like, 20 people that are, like, just the most boring people.
Oh, I was going to say while on a first
can't
date.
Leave. Oh, no.
That would have been better.
This is like one where you go to like your in-laws or something, and you don't know anyone, and they're telling the most boring stories, but you can't leave because you don't have the keys yet.
How do you
And
know about my weekly adventures?
that's what it was like, folks.
Grimon didn't
Yet-
even watch the
yet
episode. What did he spent
this-
himself half of it?
This is the best episode of the season.
Fuck.
Is it? I thought it was their worst one so far.
It's the
Grimon.
oh, we'll figure this out. We'll figure this out.
Well, you're going to get to tell everyone all about it because you're in charge of the plot synopsis as usual. You have had the most passion. Although I did have I did boil it down to 10 bullet points that we can look back on if we have to.
I boiled it down to 4. If you want a
Ye-
4 bullet point synopsis,
Yeah, 6
give
of
you
my
one.
bullet points might be redundant.
Feeling
there
it's gonna be
wasn't.
nothing but JT and I talking shit on this piece of garbage all night long.
I can handle it after what I've just been through. I feel like I might have like a bruised brain. Shawn, how did you enjoy this fantastic piece of modern cinematic just mastery?
Well, I'll express that. I'll let you know with an expression.
Really?
logical.
I'll tell you that I put this. I posted this today. I would rather snip off a hemorrhoid with nail clippers than watch this.
I have had a hemorrhoid, so I know that like exactly what you're
Yes.
proposing. That is about as horrible as it gets.
Yeah,
Alex Kurtzman would not let that go.
I would rather
Yeah.
clean off a hemorrhoid with a bidet than watch that again.
I'd rather sand one off with an old sanding stick. I would rather brush my teeth, as someone said, and then drink orange juice than watch this show.
Yeah, and to call this a good show, and hello to all you out there, we've seen people playing a lot of freaking games. And oh my God, Wes Cagle, you have a pass. I couldn't watch with you guys. My HIV was already acting up, and I couldn't take a chance on aggravating it further.
The wicked him.
Wasn't so bad that you couldn't get drunk. I'm just kidding, baby. Hey, thank you for the generous $5. And for those of you that using that rainbow flag emoji, I think it's messed up that we don't have the flag of our nation, but I guess they would need like 300 flags.
You can. I think you
make
have to
'em.
type it in.
But isn't that the
Yeah,
I
flag of the
copied it
nation
from
in there to begin with?
X. That is like, I don't have like a super bad issue with that flag because those people said like we won in like 2007. They're like, we're done now. And then like the one with the slice of pizza on it, it's all like weird and it got seriously, it's got that weird. It's got like this brown slice of pizza, like Star Destroyering in over the pride flag. The people of the pride flag, they had a lot of problems and a lot of issues with what was going on, and they were quite vocal. But I would say this, like, they did declare victory, and when they had everything that they said they wanted, like, nobody was all that angry. We all went about our lives, and what happened was the only people who were mad were the people who invented that next flag. They're like, shit, everybody's getting along. We need strife to survive. We've got to start another fucking problem. We need to start another problem right now. It's like, what can we do? It's like, well, no one will ever feel bad if we find a percentage below, like way below 2%. Could we find one that's like half of 2%? Ah, we found one. It's called people who like are going through a phase. We can institutionalize
half
it.
of 2% is 1%.
Every statistic from Google comes back that people who trans identify are 1.1% of the population. So I won't deny a statistic, and honestly, to me, that sounds right. I live in a freaking major city, and I know, like, I've probably met 25,000 people in my life. I've met, like, 3 of people who are trans.
My answer to them is usually my shits and fucks have already flown out the window.
I don't care what
message
anyone
will
is. Hey,
come
Wes
in.
Cagle, thank
This
you.
message will come in this episode.
yeah, that other
we will
flag
have
is-
something to talk about. Now, Admiral, sir.
I heart that comment, Wes Cagle, but for obvious reasons, I cannot highlight that super chat. But I mean,
We can't really talk about PDF files here.
I will just say, well, they know what that is now. I'll just say cartography.
Okay.
Cartography.
Maps.
That's right, exactly.
Is it a map?
Yeah.
Is that what you're meaning? A map?
Yes.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Japanese.
Please stop saying it.
He's talking about the Japanese.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about the one from 1923. What was it? The 1888.
Uh,
The Brazos
know-
River? Is that what it is again on the
there
map?
we go.
Yes. Yes, it's the Brazos Nebula. Brazos Nebula.
The Brazos Nebula. That's
We're
right. The
talking
North
about the
Fork of the
Brazos on the
Brazos
map, though.
Nebula.
On the map.
Jeez, what do you have for dinner? A bigot sandwich?
Oh God.
God.
So
Actually,
Some-
He had a bacon and bigot sandwich.
Yeah.
We have to address
It made
this
it
one
very
right now.
logical. It's like just totally logical.
Our good friend RRTNZ left a comment saying that he's not quite sure what the hell this show's about anymore, except sometimes Star Trek and a lot of jokes about American politics. So let's maybe just move a little bit back to the Star Trek because, this
Admiral
stuff
Sir.
that we're talking about is just purely dangerous. Go ahead.
I wanted to share the screen real quick because
Sure, but
just,
before you
just
do that,
so
just
people
wanna-
understand. Okay. Yeah.
Just really quick, I want you guys to understand this episode and all of this Star Trek that they're making, this so-called Star Trek. The reason why it's not bigger, aside from all the subversion, the reason why they're so far ahead, tracking so far ahead of Disney, aside from the fact they were always smaller, is because it is so low quality and also so offensive that I cannot make a video essay of it. Like last week, Uhura is simply covered from head to toe in blood throughout the entire episode. You cannot make a video essay that speaks to it. You can't do it. She's complete. And Pike has not taken off his armor all season, except when he does added dialogue replacement to talk to Kirk. He took off his riot gear. I'm ready to put this on stage. Are you ready, JT? Tell me when you're ready to
Yes.
activate the viewer.
Yes.
Okay,
Go for
JT.
it. Go for it.
Here we go.
In this episode, they go to Promanti 3. Now, about 40 minutes into this stupid piece of shit, Lieutenant Whitewall comes in and says, "Oh, I almost brought you back a sandwich." And you're like, "Okay, why?" And she said,
Oh,
"Yeah, this is
no.
the most awesome place on Permanti 3 because they put the fries in the sandwich." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Wait
God.
a minute, I know this. It's the Permanti Brothers restaurant and bar chain that has,
And
I
they're
don't know,
describing
50
the McGangbang. That's the illegal McDonald's meal. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but
All right, there's
But-
a so-called
dude, they
illegal McDonald's
lifted-
menu.
uh-huh.
You could ask them to make it, and they might. Like the McGangbang it costs like say $25. It's a Big Mac sandwiched between two chicken sandwiches with fries like put throughout and cheese all over.
Dear God,
That
that's
sounds
an
awful.
abomination.
However,
I wouldn't buy one.
they straight lifted the name of Permanti 3 with Permanti Brothers, where they put the fries in the sandwich.
They had to know somebody there.
You didn't pull
Well, that's
that
where
wo-
they work
you
when
didn't
the
pull the wool
writing
over my
doesn't pay the
eyes,
checks.
you stupid
Yeah.
writers.
I
You
remember that
didn't.
happening on a Friday night in college.
Yeah, that's where all the writers are gonna have to go work after this show's done.
but I
They're
just
never
wanted-
gonna.
I
No,
just
what
wanted to
college would
show
hire
you-
them?
I
What
just-
college in
I just
Florida has
wanted
such
to
a
show
bad
that.
reputation?
Guys, you
The
do not
sandwiches
want
look
them
I would say the
working at a
University of
sandwich shop.
Miami would be that bad college and
You
bad
don't
reputation.
want them working in a
more like
sandwich shop, I'm telling you. Just think
Florida
about it.
Atlantic.
Think about it.
I have too much regard for Dadman to put down FSU and
Oh, he's a
Miami.
Florida fan. He's a Florida fan.
Yeah. No, I have too much regard for
University of
Dadman to put down University of Florida. Although Florida A&M, that marching band, what fantastic uniforms. But I digress. That's something that Alex Kurtzman would focus on, guys. In a minute, I'm going to turn this over to JT, and he's going to tell us all about this episode while we
Yes.
let him, because we tried
However-
to watch this. This show is resistant to understanding it. I heard this term the other day, and there's something that's now called secondary content. Has anyone ever heard of this?
No.
Okay,
It's kind of like
secondary
secondhand
content.
smoke.
Sounds like
It-
something to be on OF.
Pretty close. Secondary content is not meant to be. Hey, Dave C. Secondary content is not meant to be watched alone. You're meant to watch it while you're watching like football and tweeting. So like, you know how like what like, oh man, that's the first down for sure. And then you go back to watching Strange New Worlds, like, and it's between stupids. You're like, oh, this seems pretty good. This must be a good show. Oh wow, come on, hey, thank you for bringing people into the family. But the only way to describe it is like this. This episode of this particular show was everything we hated about Strange New Worlds. They go to two different planets that we don't see. It's the same shit. They've gone to 25 planets this year. They've addressed that part. We never see them. All right, so here we go. Grimlon, I want to thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships. You bought Buddy Hepburn, LJ from BK, Big Dave K, I know that guy, Zombie Box Reviews, welcome back to the family, and Raul Julia, I loved you in the Addams Family, sir. Sir, welcome back. And you were great in that, was it Street Fighter? Yeah, Street Fighter.
And
sure,
before we start on this whole thing, I just wanted to say that there were some people that worked really fucking hard on this episode. And those would be the people that make the previously on, because I've never seen a previously on, including scenes that were deleted from previous episodes or taking everything completely out of context to build something that might interest you to get into this episode, because they can't write an opening act.
And they don't have any money, so they couldn't bring back the actress who plays Amanda. I would have probably been like the Patton Oswalt bump would have been smoothed out by the chick who plays Amanda. She's not that much older than Spock, but she is so hot. She is really hot. She's got huge tracts of land. She was on last year's Vulcan episode. Last year, they sunk to the level of Space 1999. Now, this is not going to be a popular thing to say around here where people love UFO. And I love UFO, ironically. I've watched every episode. I've never turned off a second of UFO. I don't call it an episode until he smoked a tiny cigarette, had one of his smart drinks, and brooded with his blonde wig, which Clobby finally got irritated enough to tell me was over-bleached real hair. This is the same rules. Last year, Spock transformed into a human while everyone was out cold. What happened was him and I think Christine are in a shuttle. It gets taken over by the aliens they reference. We don't see them, by the way. They somehow hurt Spock and La'an, and they put them back together, a.k.a. like, you know, the Menagerie and Vina, but they'd never seen a Vulcan before, so they just make 2 humans. Okay, so last year we magically shone a blue light. Think episode 2, not the second part of the pilot, but the first proper episode of Space 1999, where Judas, fucking the guy from the high table from John Wick, Ian McShane, where he gets hit with a blue light and is suddenly taken over by another life form. That's what happened to Spock. Like, a blue light hits him, and when he wakes up, he's just human. And they don't know why. And at the end of the episode, they just have a serum. And M'Benga just presses a button. And he's just fine. And they don't know why.
Kirkovian serum.
The Kirko. Yeah, that's what it was. We never see them. They don't make contact with us. They don't even show up like the Metrons as a piece of fucking Mylar taped to a piece of dental floss being pulled on a hula hoop with a light shone on it. This was Poverty Row garbage. So with that, I hand it over to JT, who's going to you're in his good hands, and I will allow him to speak while I take care of some tactical stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, JT Kirk.
All right. Thank you, Admiral, sir. So, folks, this episode I can boil down to you in less than 1 minute. So here we go. The Enterprise is heading to Primanti Brothers 3 for some R&R. But first, the Vulcan High Command mysteriously teleports from the past to give them a message about going to another planet. So on their way to some R&R, they go to another planet where the Vulcans, rather, gave them nuclear technology. Doesn't make sense why, but they did. So the crew...
On a planetary scale.
Planetary scale.
They've got some kind of planetary reactor, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like an interesting place. We have a mission briefing, and it seems like we're going to go there. We even get on the transporter.
And so they only know that Vulcans exist. And of course, The Enterprise is the only ship in range because it has to be stupid like that. And to make everyone look Vulcan, they can't just look Vulcan, they have to be Vulcan. So they have a magic, YouTube friendly, a magic transitional serum that
Called it
blocks humans and transmogrifies you from something you
I can
not
help with
that
this one. You
would
ready?
like to be.
It's called. Here we go. This is going to sound weirder than it is, but because of the rules, and I'll restore JT in a moment. We're going to call this the only thing we can. Mabanga's weird fucking voodoo. Okay,
There
from
you
now
go.
on, the hypo spray that does things to people is just Mabanga's weird fucking voodoo. Okay, that's me. This stream could never be monetized. The show is beyond adult. Not our show, theirs. I mean, we are too, but I mean, their show, it's not tasteful. This is the humor you would have gotten at, if you live in New York, right next to Studio 54 was the New David Theater. It's where Pee Wee Herman got in trouble. Okay, we all know what kind of like humor you're gonna get in Strange New Worlds has not been a family show or a good show or even a very sensible one in a long time. Hello, OB2. Hello, Wallace Lang. We got Gavin out there. Hello, Gavin Blackburn. Buddy's out there. JT is here. Mark is here. It's good to see all of you. I'm just looking through names here. I want to make sure I got everybody. Dave C is here. I want to thank everybody for coming out for Hello Trek Reviewer. What is definitely Hello Kimberly Ann. You know, this is definitely the worst show. A lot of our friends and colleagues, and God bless them, they're doing a show called Alien Earth. And at the end of this show, we're going to let Shawn and Radioactive talk a little bit about Alien Earth. We'll have time for that. But Phantom Boomer Explorers, hello. Wes Cagle, hello. Did I get M5 is here. Hello, sir. And I think that brings me back to the top of the list. I got everybody except Krimlon. Krimlon! And I said hello to Kimberly Anhart. Hello, everyone. And, okay, so Mabanga has some weird freaking voodoo that he knew that turns everybody into Vulcans. But they just don't appear Vulcan. They can't just give them, like this is a case for plastic surgery.
Right.
This is a case for plastic surgery, and you and me and this crew, if we had a textbook, could have pulled off what they did. All they did was like fix the cooling tower in some nuclear reactor that is old school tech to them. This is like us trying to fix a boiling tea kettle.
So here, what ends up happening is once they take the magic voodoo, they step on the transporter pad. The transporter pad materializes them down to the planet. Nadia R37 counts to 3 and beams them back up. And they're already
I think the term
done.
we'll use is Mabanga throws the chicken bones in the air.
Yeah. So they're only down there long enough to be beamed down, and they're beamed back up, and it's magically all fixed because they're Vulcans. Now, at this point, they go to planet Permanti Brothers 3 to go get some fries in the sandwich. And all of these Vulcans don't turn back into humans. And all of these Vulcans decide that they would like to embrace their new identity as transmogrified Vulcans. And how dare anyone try to change them? So for the next 40 to 45 minutes, there is stupid, vapid hijinks where the worst possible writing that has ever taken place on a Star Trek show commences, and your brain just literally turns off. You probably fell asleep. Most people had to turn it off and come back. At about 35 to 40 minutes into the show, you get a stunt casting appearance by loser moron Patton Oswalt, who is not funny, cannot act like a Vulcan, is cringe, and the entire thing adds nothing. There's no point in having this failure. Why they were in there, you know what it was? Earlier of the story, casting of Lizzo and Jack Black and said, I want that. The problem is he has no fucking budget left. So who does he get? Well, he can get who he can get. So it's Patton Oswalt, who doesn't
He had a half
Again,
an episode worth of Patton Oswalt.
Yes, half an episode. And he uses modern talk. He tries to do high fives and shit. He says things like, I must devour you. What the fuck?
JT, let the chat know what his name is.
Oh, his Vulcan name. Thank you, sir, Shawn. His name is Doug. The Vulcan named Doug. What the fuck is this? What the fuck
It was
is
a new level of freaking horrible this
and
week.
a sister named Susan.
And by the way, we had a lot of problems with the cis Vulcans. This is the only way to put it. Spock is like half cis Vulcan. He's not trans Vulcan, so everyone's pissed off at him, and he becomes like the Vulcan J.K. Rowling. I don't know how else to fucking put it.
I've got 3 bullet points left, and you'll
Go
know
for
the
it.
entire thing. So
Oh, no.
this is who the new transmogrified Vulcans are, okay? Captain Pike, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, turns into someone that has severe OCD and is on the spectrum, okay? You have
Let's
New
not
Hura.
forget that hair.
The exact same hair, but worse.
Bedroom hair.
Yes. New Hura turns into a self-absorbed, petty, selfish, know-it-all bitch. Christine just gains 20 pounds and just acts like herself.
Christine acts like herself. The only one who ostensibly may have made sense is Connie. Yeah, whose real name on the show is La'an. We call her Connie because she's descended from Khan. These are like BBs, honestly. This one, JT had to find the political message in it and point it out to me because it was so lazily written. And this episode so wants you to disengage from it. It really doesn't want you to watch it. That I didn't know I didn't catch it.
Right. So, okay. So now that we know who these 4 Vulcans are, I mean, that's it. That they are flat, stupid, dumb bitches. All of them, even the men. At the very end, they realize, oh shit, we're about ready to run out of time in this episode. We all need to actually turn back into humans. And so they just do it for no reason or explanation, except for Lon. So in order to get a dance scene into this episode, Spock has to have a mind meld with Lon. So that way they can dance.
They're not dancing with each other again this time. In the episode, they're dancing with each other. In real life, they're not dancing with each other. Oh my God, Wes Cagle. Hey, let me put that up on screen while JT finishes this, and then I will address it, sir. Sir.
And then at the very end, which I mean, like the last 8 to 10 minutes after everyone goes back, they just talk. They just literally fucking talk for 10 minutes. And I'm like, I got other things to do. I got to go clip my toenails. Can you just finish, please?
I brushed my teeth twice during this episode just to get out of watching it.
You could tell that the writers for this actually were in love with the Gilmore Girls TV series. I mean, that's pretty much what this felt like.
That's well said, Kremlin. Yeah.
I was in love with Alexis Bledel, but I made sure to never pay attention to the show.
And folks, that's literally all that happened. I have 2 whole pages of how fucking stupid this whole thing is. All you need to know is those 2 pages are just going through 35 to 40 minutes of absolute nothing right in the middle.
But now, I have to honor Wes Cagle's super chat. Not George S. Patton, fake Patton Oswalt. We have a fake Patton on fake Star Trek. It was so fake this week. Patton Oswalt is a douchebag.
It rhymes.
He is a rainbow tasting Riri POS. Thank you for your attention to this matter, sir.
Well said.
The good old days last week when we were fighting Digimon on Enterprise, right? I mean, that was fun. Good stuff. I would go see that production of Star Trek Chosen Realm as Shakespeare in the Park and pay money for it rather than watch this for free.
Now, the funny thing is, I mean, there's tons of mistakes, Admiral. I'm sure you have some written down. I know I have some written down. Like, once they become Vulcans, because they didn't want to mess up the makeup, they just didn't have them change out of the Vulcan costumes. And, like, Captain Pike was just in his Vulcan costume on duty for the whole episode until they
Yeah,
went
no one
back
takes
into
off
humans.
their Vulcan outfits.
Yeah.
And Mabanga doesn't do what you'd expect. He defers to Christine because not only is she a woman, but now she's a Vulcan. So it's like he doesn't do what he's supposed to do and fucking relieve the captain. And relieve everyone. Like, it doesn't really matter. This captain lets the first officer do everything anyway. Radioactive, thank you, sir. Remember when Soy Pike transitioned to be a Vulcan, he became to Pike, which is his Vulcan female name. I like that one.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Radioactive, good thinking,
I
man.
got
That's a good one.
I got the best description of how this episode really went. I compare it. I'd say I'd compare it to basically a clown car. The clown car being the Enterprise, and all the clowns being the crew that just got changed into nothing but Vulcans. So it went from Conehead Pike all the way to a midget clown. Well, clown. The name I can't even say in Patton Oswalt towards the middle, where I ended up shutting off the entire TV series and going, "What the heck."
Patton
when you
Oswalt
shut it
now
off
has that
halfway,
effect on people. Yeah.
Firmlon, when you shut it off halfway, it didn't matter. Nothing happened. They all just decided, well, next week we can't be Vulcans, so we're just going to not be Vulcans now.
They magically unvulcaned the
Yes.
Mabanga threw more chicken bones in the air, and that was it. And this week was. Did Kurtzman write most of this one himself? This was pure Alex Kurtzman. If he didn't write all this one himself, he did the script polish on this one because we had just nonstop, overlapping, insane dialogue that could not be distinguished from what I had a hard time figuring out what anyone was talking about. Everyone interrupted everyone. It was like a Coke party at a coffee house.
The cringe started when they were turning into Vulcans, and it looked like they got huge enemas, fell onto the ground, started screaming, going through all the emotions, as if they were turning into werewolves.
They took human blockers. That's what they took.
And then somehow, all of a sudden, everything is logical.
Wes Gagel's an executive producer, and he gets an A+ for his attendance in the show by getting drunk at home and just not getting on the panel because we wouldn't have a channel anymore. But I love you, buddy. You're right, and you're right on. Nothing you've said is wrong. When we have our Rumble exclusive stream, and by the way, did you guys know that tonight I decided to take a chance? I took a chance on Rumble, and let's take a look over there and see if it made it off the launch pad. Because I don't know. It looks like Rumble actually happened tonight. We'll find out.
It's
I'm
like
giving
the
myself
Soviet
a thumbs
moon
up
program over there on whether you can actually get something to start or not.
Yeah, and you might see 47 like endorsing our show. He'll be there like, I think Saving Star Trek is a fantastic show. Here is Admiral Teag. By the way, try this NFT. It's the weirdest. There are like commercials there with Trump selling different things. Like I guess they're left over from like between terms.
Who knows?
Why would you ever get rid of that commercial though? All right. After I said we wouldn't talk about politics, that's on me.
The space politics on this, they never. I mean, just because they took the Mabanga did the chicken bones thing, doesn't mean that they ever disciplined their minds to be Vulcans.
Right.
So
they also this would be like if I turned a gorilla.
Right on that one.
Yeah, if we magically turned a gorilla. Yeah, here's the thing. If I turned a gorilla into a human, like with a magic wand, this was the same principle, except that, like, they didn't even take it as far as, like, he grew clothes when he changed from a gorilla into a human. It was like, when we change them from humans into Vulcans, they acquire, like, culinary discipline. They acquire like, a deep, like, intrinsic understanding of Vulcan, like, Vulcan-centric, like societal outlook. They default like know everything about being Vulcan. They develop like the discipline of logic just from the chicken bones being thrown in the air by Mabanga. Only Connie really didn't. They all had a bad. I guess what we would say is like it was like Vulcan PEDs. They enhanced what they were. Like the show thinks Pike is a effete asshole, so he became a much more effete asshole.
I don't think any of them actually gained the discipline in this. I think they're all what's known as Batosh Couture, which from Enterprise
Yeah, that's
season 1, episode 13, Fusion, where they have emotional Vulcans or Vulcans that embrace emotion. I think they were closer to those guys than
I'm not the
than
only
to
one.
Spock.
I'm not
I
the
don't-
only one. Who believed it.
I have
Coneheads.
I have my suspicions about Krimon's involvement in this comment, but I love this. Stop,
That
George
wasn't
has the best avatar. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who thought it was a conehead.
Yeah.
This isn't you. You didn't just do this. This is
No,
hello.
that's
Stop,
not me.
George.
That's
Welcome to the
legitimate.
show. Krimon was saying this like over and over. It was just like I couldn't believe it. It was so Coneheads, and he is right. Like Pike is like worse than me when I get like a new toy to clean my apartment with. Like when I got that thing that blew the
Oh, he
dust
had
off the
OCD.
computer, I blew the dust all around my house. But yeah, like
Mhm.
Pike's volcanism was having OCD. La'an's was turning into a Romulan. It was the only one that ostensibly stood up to a little bit of Star Trek reason. Somebody accidentally got that right, or the one writer, the episode was written for that character. I don't know. And everything else was filler. Because it seems like, I think Connie, La'an, Christina Chong is there for episodes they write for Rebecca Romaine where they can't afford to have her act in it. She's just Rebecca Romaine's deputy character. Every one of the principal characters, and there's only 2, has a deputy. The deputy to Pike is who? Who's Pike's petted character? Who lives out the experiences that they can't afford to pay Anson Mount for?
Fake Kirk.
No, it's Ortegas. She has the same hair, and she acts like Pike.
Yeah.
Except that she acts like Pike did in like Star Trek. She's confident, she's cocky, and she's sexist. So there you go. Like that's what, because that's what they would think of Pike, right? From the cage. Pike says a couple of things about women having jobs and other stuff like that. And he also wants to be a space pimp, which is cool by me, but probably didn't play too well with the bad robot people. And JT, I think you've got it. I think that would do is we'll get everyone else involved. Shawn and JT have been merciful. I mean, I'm sorry, Germ and Shawn have been mercifully uninvolved, and now's where we throw them and Radioactive into the fire. I have been venting. That Shawn, I'd like to hear what you, Germ, and Radioactive have to say. Just jump in there all chaotically like Kurtzman characters and finish each other's sentences like you know there's a script.
Frantically, too.
And don't forget to say
We had a
logical
lot of that
at least-
this week.
Say,
we had
logical at least 4 or 5 times.
There's this Kurtzman thing that I can't stand anymore. Someone says something and they end their sentence on like an
I was
up
just
note,
going to say that, but you
and
you
they
didn't
roll their
stop.
eyes to the other person. Yeah, they
I
roll
was
their eyes to the
gonna
other
end your
person, and
statement.
that person. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you
Yeah.
ruined it because you started off
I
saying that. and
I finished
when
my
you complete
thought.
your
Which,
sentence, yeah.
here's
How
what
dare
they
you.
do: they take a sentence and they take a thought and they split it between 2 people. This season, Christine and Roger Corby do it a lot. So it'll be like, so we had an idea, and like they look at each other, and the other one picks it up. So we bought Pike a cake and a real doll because he's so effete, and like that's how they get like it's kind of like if you watch those reality home fixer-upper shows, but. Let's throw JT. Let's throw Shawn, Radioactive, and German to the fire. They've been getting off easy. Go ahead.
Well, what I found the most humorous, and I know we try not to point out like the stupid things in the shows because we know it's all stupid, but the thing is like, okay, this planet only knew of Vulcans, but they were a pre-warp civilization. Now, think back to Enterprise, folks. What is the Starfleet's biggest complaint is that the Vulcans won't share shit with them. So, because it would be interference. Like, they won't even help them build better fucking sensors. But suddenly, they find this planet, and the Vulcans give this pre-warp civilization the technology to make a nuclear reactor that powers their entire planet. How?
Oh, they made
Yeah, and how many of them are there? Right?
not
like
how,
it
I
seems
mean, I
like there's
know-
only one.
Yeah, there's one. It's powerful enough to
It's the size of Australia.
Entire planet.
It's got a small ocean
you
inside of it.
can't
It's
give
the
the
entire
NX-01
Mediterranean.
Yeah, and you can't give the NX-01 sensors.
Oh, that was the other thing that was great. They go, to do this, we would have to be Vulcan. So you're like, oh, okay, they're going to clip on the old ears and everybody's going to go down there and pretend to be Vulcan and it's going to be like old Star Trek and it'll make sense. Maybe this episode's going someplace. We just had an away mission briefing. We're going to a planet. Oh my God, for the first time since like season 1, we're going to go to a planet.
Yeah.
And what happens is
and
they go, but their scanning technology is very, very advanced. So cosmetic surgery won't be enough. We have to become Vulcans.
But they
and
could
that's
fool
when the Bangate
Romulans
says,
with a little earpiece that McCoy gave Kirk.
oh, but yeah, no one
Yeah.
should ever make fun of Star Trek 6 when they're using the textbooks to talk to the Klingons again and say that wasn't funny. We were not laughing at these jokes the way these jokes were devised.
There was one.
So do
The
you guys-
only
do you
joke
guys
we
think-
I kind of laughed at was when they said 4 1/2 Vulcans to beam down. I actually chuckled at that. That was the only line.
Yeah, I
in
was
the
shocked that they
entire
understood
show.
it.
Yeah, it was a well-placed joke, but they try again, like we always talk about. What genre are we doing this week? Well, guys, this was silly comedy week. It was plucky little fun violin music the whole time. You know, like you'd hear in Malcolm in the Middle or something. Like, hey, we needed the musical cue to let us
And
know that
bongos.
there's a funny scene coming.
Don't forget the bongos, Shawn.
Oh, the bongos.
Well, it's got a
Oh,
lot
and
of
the
percussion in
last
its
fucking
music because
scene-
that's really cheap.
Yeah, the fight between Connie and Spock that turns into a ballroom dance was just epic. That happened, everyone. Spock
We
and
learned a
Connie
little
were
bit about
fighting,
each character in that fight.
throwing each other all over the ship, and then they start dancing, and she breaks down and says, "I need your help."
Yep. Shawn, so do you think that when they beamed these people down to the planet, they forgot that they didn't have a budget? So they're like, I guess we can't make a planet with aliens this week. Let's beam
yeah.
them right back up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because-
it's
Twice
being fixed.
to 2 different
Yeah.
planets.
And I have one other gripe I wanted to bring up about it, and this I pose a question to Radioactive here. There's a scene, Captain the Captain Pike's Gorny girlfriend, is trying to get appointed to be some lawyer or something, and the bald
She
the
is
shaved-
already a lawyer.
Okay, yeah, but she's trying to get promoted. And
Right.
the shaved head Vulcan, Mr. Clean Vulcan, who's going to
Yes.
retire, simply appoints her to fill his old position. Now,
Because she was a bitch to him.
Radioactive-
It's the Office Space solution. It's
Right,
the
but
Office Space
I
reason.
asked-
She's an asshole to her boss.
I
and she
yeah.
gets promoted.
I asked Radioactive, are senior officers allowed to just appoint someone to fill their position, or is there a process usually that people go through to vet a candidate?
Well, there. I mean, you mean in the real world or in this?
Yeah, I mean,
The real hell.
yeah.
In the
Does
well,
it make
actually,
sense that
it-
this
well,
guy could
okay.
just name his heir? I know they could have some influence, but come
Well,
on, he just
you can appoint somebody to be your acting.
acting. Yeah, but he
Yeah,
literally promoted her and said the job is yours.
Yeah, that doesn't really work in the real world, but that's. But then again, this was never about the real world, except for certain topics.
Right.
Now, the equivalent, just to help you out for the folks that aren't, didn't watch the episode, this is like taking a sergeant in the NYPD and making them the chief of police.
Or the chief of
Or
police
may-
just naming the new chief of police.
Yes.
Right,
And
or-
naming
or-
a sergeant as the new chief of police.
Sounds dictatory to me.
Or we have a former NYPD captain as mayor. Anyway, this was so crazy. We when we turn these people into Vulcans, they get like tertiary skills and knowledge that do not come with your DNA, no matter what they tried to say on Enterprise a couple of weeks ago with Sim. Like, once they became Vulcans, like, I don't know how to explain it. The only way to put it is, like, if this was an MCU story where we magically turned a gorilla into a human, that gorilla would also have, like, a PhD.
He'd be
And
doing
speak
brain
4
surgery
languages
right away.
And and speak 4 languages. He would be also he would do photorealistic paintings with oil paints. He would be great at everything.
Yeah, and I would want to ask that gorilla, can you find a way to attach a gorilla arm to me so I can go back into pitching? Because I'd throw 140 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I find it very awesome that a nurse just managed to outsmart everyone and run 7 different projects all at the same time, and
Oh yeah.
all due to genetics.
But
Sure.
who among us though
Sure.
has not been dumped the way she dumped Roger?
It was
dumped-
funny though.
She
No,
just
me.
dumped
Able
him.
to run
Not
those
me.
because the serum came with a side of space crack.
She dumps Corby, then she intimates that maybe they like all relationships are a waste of time, but who knows? Spock, like Ponfar, it's a coming, and so he's just like Spock's like 6 years, 11 months, 29 days, 12 hours. It's fucking idiot. And Christine she's a little too amazing. How many men did we get thrown around and knocked out when the women were super strong this week too?
Oh yeah. Well, I was just gonna say Christine pulled the Corby goodnight maneuver. Get it? The Corby goodnight maneuver.
Oh,
And I don't know
Nice.
what it is. I don't know what it is about this show. Somebody's kid broke up with an Irish exchange student at college, and they're freaking furious because I thought they would do something with Corby, and they have 2 episodes left. Who knows what? They'll try. But it seems like Corby is just there to look disheveled and sound drunk. He was just like magically intoxicated and just didn't know what the hell was going on. It was absolutely crazy. Hey, Miss Catonic, welcome. What was up with Corby? Rest of the
Why was he even there?
Yeah, why
He
was he
even
there?
been
Jerm?
there? And let's not forget one of the more offensive parts of it is when Uhura mind raped her boyfriend into being nice
right,
and
yeah.
mellow.
Yes.
yeah, they can mind meld suddenly. Everyone, they know how.
Yeah, but she all that Beta can say is that he got mined too.
But and then she told him, remember, like later on when he complained about it, she's like, well, remember when you consented? Remember? And got like a look in her face, and I was like, ooh.
In pure Alex Kurtzman style, he's saying like to her, like, that was messed up, you violated me, and she cuts him off and like under his sentence or over his sentence, however you want to say, she's like, you sort of agreed to that. And that was good enough for her. And that to me felt like, guys do this stuff all the time. Let's have a woman say it and see how people feel. And I'm just like, it's not entertaining. It was cringy. Everything about this week's episode was this was one of the worst hours I've spent in my life. This was not entertaining.
In no way,
I
shape,
was
or
not
form.
entertained. I was not entertained.
I don't know what to say. This one,
But-
the bullet points I had is the Enterprise got a lame call from Vulcan High Command to save Tazar, a pre-warp planet facing a nuclear disaster. So, like I said, we got a mission briefing for this. It sounds almost interesting. You're like, huh, how are they going to justify this weird power plant? This is, and like they like almost managed. This is the only feat they did. For a moment there, they lampshaded themselves as Star Trek before the rug pull was, haha, we're not going to go to a planet. We're just going to come right back immediately and be grim and dour. And it was like everybody basically acted like Wednesday Addams from the Addams Family movies.
Yeah.
It was like Christina Ricci's character from the Addams Family movies. Just like weird.
Well,
You
Their
know,
foreheads
in
were too
real-
big.
In real
they
Star
did
Trek,
justify it though. They said, "Oh, they're special." That's it. They're special.
Hmm. You guys remember in real Star Trek when they would beam down to a planet and the planet was just on a sound lot and they would change the color of the sky?
That was
The
much
different
better than
filter.
this. That was much
Even
better than this.
TNG
Yes.
season 1 and 2 did that.
I would
That was
say
way
this though.
better than what they did here.
with these people, we've had them on a couple of okay sets. Like, for instance, it doesn't work. It was stupidly designed, but like their bridge is ostensibly on paper a better set than like most Star Trek shows have, right? At the same time, like, who the hell cares what's going on up there? It's a static display. It looks like it's really busy, but like everything we see, their interfaces, it's like you'll see their shields are up and they'll be showing like they'll say like shields 100%. And they'll be like, Captain, the shields are gone. It's like, oh, okay, so none of this bullshit matters. It's like the opposite of what Star Trek used to be, where the fans be like, Chekhov pressed a different button last week to go to warp. This is just like utter nonsense. They're saying one thing. It's like you'll see like warp core, like optimal function, and like the warp core is offline. Like they do not care. Like they do not have anything that they cannot show or tell. They have to do both, and they have to do both twice at the same time. This is really like we were saying like grammar school play, except the subject matter was too mature.
Mm-hmm.
The delivery level was not middle school.
Speaking of delivery and mature and all this crap, what did y'all think of that 90s music that they had the Vulcans rocking out to?
Yeah.
In the hallway.
Folks, seeing is believing. I have images from this disaster.
Or if that was a tune from the 90s. I don't remember.
I think somebody's kid made some music based on some cues that they gave them, and we got that. They are walking down the hallway dressed as Vulcans. Now here they are in their Vulcan outfits. This is when they decide they identify as Vulcan, and they're telling M'Benga that he can't turn them back. And M'Benga just finds the whole thing funny. And we've already found out that he's the worst, most incompetent piece of shit doctor anyway, so who the fuck cares what Button Pusher thinks? And he's like, I can throw the chicken bones back in the air and everyone will be human. And they're like, no!
He smirked and chuckled like 4 times in this episode. I think he was just laughing at the other cast trying to act like Vulcans, and he couldn't keep a straight face the whole time, and they just went with it.
Now, when he throws the chicken bones in the air to initiate the human Vulcan changeover, it's extremely painful, like you have the LSD shits or something. And then they make an LSD joke, and Carol Kane, who knows what she's talking about, I guess, says, that's like, like, that looks like fun. And they're screaming in agony. And she
Commodore
goes, it's like
3-pack. Yeah.
Yeah, Commodore 3-pack. And he's like, I'm sorry, but the potion doesn't affect you because you're... And then she's like, maybe it's because I'm a non-human alien. No shit, really? And she's like,
I laughed at that.
because it was incompetent. And she goes, but this joke was funny. She goes, this is like, it doesn't affect me, just like LSD when I tried it in the 60s and the 90s and last week.
I didn't find that funny at all. I don't know.
I found it funny because I think Alex Kurtzman's probably micro. I think when Alex Kurtzman goes to like his shrink, he's like,
and then after I watched a lot of same-sex erotica, I was able to have sex with my wife, and I'm proud of that.
And he's like, okay, Alex, we're gonna you've earned your microdose of ketamine now, Alex. Like I think that like weird stuff like microdosing on a little bit of mushrooms, like, and doing it wrong is something that might be going on in this writing room. Honestly. Like, I have a friend who writes code. He's a freaking genius, but he works like 17 hours a day, 6 days a week. I like texted him the other day just to see if he was alive, and he's like, yeah, things are going good. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm writing a code for it. I'm like, oh, sounds like fun. He's like, I don't know. I microdosed this morning. I'm just going on fucking instinct. So I think that, I mean, if you're going to do that to make a heart defibrillator, fine. But if you're going to make a TV show like that, it'll come back to haunt you. The irony intended.
Reverse
yeah, exactly. No, I'm joking. I don't know what the hell he was making. I think it was like elevator emergency stops. Something unimportant. Car brake controllers on a computer. Something that doesn't really matter. Hey, Lemon Pie, what's up? But in this episode, and I'll show you another. I did not have time to weave these into into a video for you. I wish I had gotten them with their. Can someone find them doing their dumb walk down the hallway? Here's another terrible image of them with, as you can see, Rebecca
Oh, look, she's
Romaine, man.
expecting.
Yeah, the blessed event. Age is just a number. I congratulated her on this. I
You
cropped
guys
her
saw
out and
that.
I congratulate. Yeah, it's just so mean to do because she's 52. But I'm just gonna say, how come she weighs so much more than me and I'm the same age? You know, I mean, where's her? I don't like. I'm sorry, Rebecca. I can sling this one. You look like you do not look like your job is to be good looking all day. What the hell happened? And you're going to get called back to be Mystique by the Disney people who give no fucks. Do you understand that they're going to make you wear that outfit looking like this? Has that gone through your mind? So this is just she's got a beer belly. She's got a fucking beard. She looks
Yeah,
like a
she
middle-aged guy. And I don't mean early middle age. I'm talking like a 50-year-old guy who's got an oil well, who sits in a bar all day and just drinks, not Michelob Ultra, like freaking like a dark German beer.
But that's not
She's-
beer.
She's yeah, exactly. she's living a landman like give no fucks attitude. I mean, this is not the. I would also say this: Una is not the kind of person you speak to. You nod to Una and wait for her to like bark instructions at you. She is the least friendly and least nice person you're ever gonna meet.
Who, Rebecca Romaine?
Her character on this show.
Oh,
Una
her
is
character. I thought you meant
there's
her.
not there's. I don't know. Rebecca Romaine might be nice, but what was really weird was when I turned this show off, I turned on. I think it's on ABC. Her freaking husband Jerry O'Connell was on, and he's had a hell of a facelift, and so he looks just absolutely surprised. And he's a game show host, and the show is Pictionary, but it's formatted in the style of Family Feud. And Shawn, you are such a much better Pictionary host than him. He is too high energy. Like imagine
my
if Tony,
contestants draw nice little mustache guys.
No, he drew Jesse Owens. I remember that. It was a nice
this
picture.
was. Imagine if we gave. Oh yeah, I did. Imagine if we gave Tony a lot more energy.
Oh,
Oh
God.
jeez. No. Love you,
Yeah,
brother,
this was-
but no,
Yeah,
please.
no, I love Tony. I was doing a show, but he's got a lot of head. This was like higher energy than Tony. This was really on. They were pushing the speed limit in dialogue and then having long silences. This episode was executed so poorly that I think they wove the politics in later. They're like, oh shit, we forgot to check off the like messed up political message box. And again, to our non-American audience, I do apologize. And I guess we like to some degree, you would think, especially on Thursdays, that we're just having like an American political talk show. But it's Strange New Worlds drags us here. We have presented to us in the least subtle manner a rainbow, if you would, of weirdness, guys. Wallace, I'm telling you guys, this is weird stuff, Wallace. They are like dressed in these Vulcan outfits. Okay, the Vulcan outfits track. I'll give them like an A for that if they weren't all identical. You know, if just one Vulcan had this outfit, I'd be like, okay. You know, Vulcan number 3's outfit. This shouldn't be the hero Vulcan's outfit. No one has a hero's outfit in this. I don't understand what's going on. It's filmed so haphazardly. Rebecca Romaine, again, had 2 weights and 2 slightly different haircuts in this that we could see. And this was another one where we wanted to have the principals in it, but we kept swapping out Rebecca Romaine for Connie. And Connie lived Rebecca Romaine's story. She did Una's arc in this one.
Admiral, are you ready for me to rip the Band-Aid off on the politics part? Just so we can
If you're
have it
doing
out
really,
there.
you
I will try to be objective or whatever non-side on this that I can be. Okay. I'll just tell you what they did in the show. Yeah, there
Remember
you go.
your euphemisms now.
Yes. So how this goes and where the politics on this is not something that I would have put in a Star Trek show. I don't want to talk about this. I don't feel like it's a fun dunk or anything like that. But this was the message in the episode. So you have these 4 people that want to transmogrify with an emphasis
There you
on the
go.
first half of that. And so they go to a doctor, a medical professional, and get a magic potion that helps them transmogrify into something completely different. You know that Vulcans are not humans and humans are not Vulcans. Okay.
And by the way,
We'll,
if
we'll
anyone
just
who
we'll
thinks
just leave
I
it
was
at that.
mean
I think
here-
everybody just picked up exactly what we meant by that.
Right, but here's the thing: are humans who get changed when Mabanga throws his voodoo thing on them, when they get changed, and we can't talk about medical stuff. YouTube's crazy; they think that Star Trek's real life. So when Mabanga throws the chicken bones in the air to turn them into fucking Vulcans, like again, they get all the skills. But this part really was upsetting because like people are gonna say like you're mean like to me because I was. To Rebecca Romaine because I can be, because I don't care. But like they're equally mean. Shawn, you know a little bit about perspective and looking at things. Wouldn't it be a lot more charitable to seat Rebecca Romaine where fucking Spock is seated so she doesn't look like she needs to jog
Yep.
right now? They are making her look as bad as possible. Which is bad news for male viewers because this is the ceiling on how good a woman's allowed to look on this show.
It's surprising. I mean, there's one,
And inconsiderate.
two. I'm doing an outline of her.
She needs to sit up.
She's got
That's
4
the other
rolls of
thing.
fat. You can see the girdle. William Shatner was made fun of for wearing a girdle. It never looked this dumb. Okay? It never looked this dumb. I have nothing against the fact that they're giving this 52-year-old woman a job, but there's a thing called being inconsiderate. And I think
Yeah.
that this is you know what? If
Why
you're
would they be
fucking
considerate?
But because they're so fucking political that they can't be fucking polite. You know what? She's a lady of a certain age. Let her be blocked by Spock so she doesn't look so fat. And I don't care if people say I'm mean for saying it like that. I'm not the one who put her out there front and center, and she's as big as Patton Oswalt, and we can see it.
Well,
Yeah.
let's
And
also
she's
know
taller
that-
than him by
that-
a lot.
She
Let's also
she doesn't
not-
need to get in shape for any of this shit. They probably called back for a reshoot when they got Patton Oswalt to agree to be on this damn thing and said, "Fuck you, I'm not getting into shape for this." Why
She
would
doesn't
I?
get into shape for this show.
Why would she try for a show that has abused her for the last 5 years?
At this point, I think that there was still the rebellion that we said we happened on set. This episode feels like a punishment episode. Now, just really quickly, I watched a YouTube thing on writing TV, and they had Shawn, the MASH writers there, right?
Mm,
The MASH writers were like, "Your cast," like someone asked them, like, "Your cast had a lot of power after a while. What would you do?" And the guy goes, "Oh, we would do a winter episode if people started acting like dicks." Remember all those winter episodes of MASH
Yeah.
where people had to act like they were freezing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were filmed in August in the San Fernando Valley. So
Yeah, they're in the Malibu Hills.
So they
And
said
it's
that
hot
like
up there.
one of the writers was like, I had a little way to control that, and he told the story of like Alan Alda wanted to take the episode in a totally different direction and turn it into one of the serious episodes. One of the serious episodes that you could see what wouldn't have worked, because a lot of these experimental MASH episodes, TV was still like network TV was still young enough that people were willing to indulge in experiments. Some of these MASH experiments didn't work. And so like Alan Alda had some like idea that the writer didn't like, and he just said, feels like a cold front coming in. And all the writers just kind of smiled and crossed their arms and looked at the cast, and Alan Alda just backed. They were like, "Shut up, Alan!" And he backed right down. So, did she maybe finally stand up for the other cast members and say, "You make us all look like shit"? And like, yeah, you think so? Okay,
Maybe.
we have a new
I-
seating
but-
arrangement. This has the
That's-
look of the beatings will continue until morale has improved.
I never attribute malice when stupidity will do. Right.
Yeah, well-
I
Except
don't know
that
if
Alex
there's that
Kurtzman
much
has
into
been
it.
more malicious than stupid, which is a feat. And this is my opinion. I feel that way. I feel that he's an extremely petty person. I know we all know that William Shatner turned them down. Who did they turn all their cannons on 3 weeks ago? They spent 45 minutes just attacking William Shatner and Gene Roddenberry. So if this cast stood up to them, and I honestly, I still think that like Ethan Peck was just like, my cousin is a lawyer who will represent me for free. And they started leaving him alone because Spock is on the edge of all this garbage, but he has not debased the Spock character as badly as he did last year. I mean, last year we saw Spock debased in ways that, I mean, I can't tell you. You have to see it. Okay, so I mean, the Spock this year has a dose of Valium compared to last.
Speaking of Valium, back onto the back to this message. Okay, so once the Vulcans have made this change, the rest of the crew constantly critiques their looks, constantly critiques how they act, constantly has discussions about how they're going to try to force or con or manipulate these people that have transmogrified back into their original shape. Okay.
Right. The point here is, just really quickly, the point being is they are going to be made to do something other than what they prefer. And they now have identified as Vulcans. And they're very cluelessly undermining earlier messages and sort of accidentally making a very good case against a few really radical ideas about gender. We'll put it that way.
Yes. And then so at the end,
and age.
They
and
all
age.
yes, and at the end they all just transmogrify back. They detransmogrify, if you want to put it that way, even to the point where Lon needs a white straight male to help her detransmogrify back into a quote unquote normal version of herself. So this political message, I think, was the exact opposite of what the writers actually believe.
Oh, they always undermine their own message, and you're wrong. It wasn't the opposite of what they believe. They believe nothing. The beliefs they were affectating to make money, which they misunderstood.
Yeah, but they unintentionally, I think, started out with that message, and then like said the opposite of what their preferred political opinions are. Because this was a very heavy political message. And folks, I'm not saying anything's right or wrong on it. You're more than welcome to hang out with us and hold your belief one way or the other, or some mixture in between.
We don't care who you love. Yeah, it's Alex Kurtzman who cares what hole you shove it in. All right, we don't fucking care. Although, like, they really did accidentally with this Vulcan thing and they weren't trying. Believe me, they were not. They actually made a very good case about like waiting a good long time and thinking things over, and that you might be going through a phase about this transition. They really did. They accidentally made a very strong case. What is this?
That humans can only be humans and Vulcans can only be Vulcans. I mean, it was like I was watching like Matt Walsh's Star Trek. I'll just say that, so
am I istrophobic?
I'll just
thank you. Stop George gets it. Yeah, they really. I want to be clear about this one. Some of their political beliefs that they express in the show's political beliefs are insulting, pandering, extremist, insane, punitive, and hateful. That's the show. All right. I don't think any human being can walk around holding these beliefs, and that extends to the people who write this show. So what I am saying is, in my opinion, this show is written by hypocrites. All of the ideas that they have grabbed are hostage to them. They mean shit to these people. These people are either country club Republicans or limousine liberals, and there's almost no difference. They're just sitting right there, and they're like, we're going to have a black man be a doctor in our show. And then, like, he's incompetent. He's immoral. He's a war criminal. He's a murderer. He's a drug addict. And he belongs in fucking jail.
Violence on a security officer. Don't forget.
Kills a peace envoy.
Yes. Yes. It boggles the mind when you bring that up, Teag, how opposite they are to everything that they pretend to be in public. And when I saw this, and I was like, really? Is that the lesson of this episode? Because you
Hmm.
know they didn't intend that. Anyway,
I've gotten in trouble in my this is probably one of the reasons why like Admiral Teague doesn't do a whole hell of a lot of networking. By the way, Miami Vice season 5 Saturday with Northern English Bastard at 5 US. It'll be fun. We've been through the whole series. I loved hanging out with them, and our RTNZ will be there too. And it's a great time. But hey, look, Critically is here. Hello. Hail to my friend Critically Thinking and Drinking. Let me see if I can get that banner up. This particular episode of Star Trek was their political beliefs are the taking of a hostage. To them, any political belief, any belief is an NPC in a video game that was designed to be a meat shield in that video game. And there was a couple of people who got really angry at me, and one of them was just Scotty R37. He hated this, and he sometimes brings it up. I said these creators meat shield behind the beliefs that they say. They don't believe anything except making a buck any way they can. And he's like, I don't even know what that means. And I'm like, it's from video games. And he's like, what does it mean? I'm like, it means that they're shielding from heat behind this person. Like, think human shield. He's like, I don't understand. I'm like, all right, whatever. I can't make you understand, but that's what they're doing. And that's my opinion. Anybody want to speak to what I call the meat shielding going on here?
Well,
Because I think it is.
Well, they're definitely hiding Spock behind Rebecca Romaine, but I don't think that's meat.
Oh,
No.
I think we have some consensus behind that, Teague. I really think we do, because it just reeks. It reeks. It is so far from what TNG used to do, or original Trek used to do, where you'd
And it was
actually
really
have
insulting this
something
week
to
because
talk
we
about.
teased a lot of original Trek too. We teased a lot of original Trek. And Critically, I really want to thank you for joining me, guys. If you're looking for an X follow, there it is right there. I'll leave it up for a couple more minutes. The Critical Drawing one. He's a funny guy and a great follow. And just, on with this episode. Krimlon and Germ are trying to get out of talking about it, and so is Radioactive. You know what? There'll be no ice cream for you, gentlemen. There is no Mr. Riley in this to give it any humor. There is no humor in this. It was all accidental. The intentional humor, almost all of it failed, except the LSD joke, which I laughed at in spite of myself. Let's go with Radioactive. Radioactive, just tell us a little bit with the experience of watching this episode and trying to find meaning in it.
Was that a good enough explanation of what I found in it?
I was wondering what you're doing. I'm like, I can tell this silence is performative.
Yeah, the silence is probably more performative than what was going on the TV show.
Radioactive actually proved that nothing is better than something, because we laughed at that joke, and they threw a bunch of jokes at us that we didn't laugh at all. This was the pacing on the jokes was pretty quick too. It was like a Marvel movie kind of thing. They were trying to do a Marvel movie, and they even had an after credit scene like a Marvel movie.
Could anyone on the panel tell me what the point of Patton Oswalt in this thing was?
They wanted to add more special
Filler.
needs people.
Filler.
Yeah, he is human monosodium glutamate. He is filler. Jerem,
I
what do you
think he
think?
needed work.
Patton Oswalt was willing to do a certain something for Kurtzman that not a lot of people are. So he threw
At
him
least he
aside.
doesn't have to get on his knees to do it.
Yeah.
You know, the last time I
control.
we just happened to have Patton Oswalt here. Patton, what was it that you brought to the role?
Saying that I crushed her skull and that I shot her.
Wait, what are you talking about,
I
Patton?
came home, there was a man in my house.
All right, well, let's move on from talking about how Patton Oswalt somehow threatened his way into this job somehow or another.
That really upsets me. I really cannot stand that guy.
I thought his performance was dreadful.
He had a
Everything
mechanical
about him
arm.
is dreadful.
Performance of all of them, for the most part, was dreadful this epised.
I think I
Ethan Peck
compared.
was standout as good. He was still only doing the thing that he always does, being that version of Spock.
Oh,
And like
Spork.
I said,
Spork was.
yeah, Spork. Spork was true to SNW character. Only way to put it.
Yeah,
He was
but
still
the
SNW
Pike was the
Spork.
worst,
Yeah,
I think.
he
The
is
Pike
the only
was
one
the
that's
worst.
really consistent.
Would you
Yeah,
rather
SN
see more Patton
Ethan Peck is-
Oswalt or in Star Trek or more Lizzo in Star Wars?
I mean, I
Is
have a ton of
waterboarding an
ones.
option?
Yeah, why would you say such cruel things?
Can I be jettisoned into space already?
This was possibly, and there's people out there doing Alien Earth, and more power to them. All I want to say is, like, you guys might have a more alive franchise than we've got right now, but let me tell you something. We have a far worse show to review, and our show has been worser for longer, so we could definitely bring you a lot more terrible, a lot faster than a lot of other people. I mean, this episode, I mean, let's get another look at our genius cast here. Here we are. I think I can take that banner down now. Check out Critical Dry One. He's the best. You're gonna love him. But yeah, you've got to see her. I had to take the banner down because look at that. She's wearing a crotch pack. Why? She just loved it from the 80s.
I don't know.
She's got her fanny pack turned around in front. It's like a manny
Well,
pack.
that's where she keeps her lavender scented lotion.
No, it's the
She's
LSD.
got her. She's got her
LDS.
Gwyneth
LDS.
Paltrow
Yeah.
vagina candles in there. Too,
No,
in the,
no, you guys all got it wrong. That's where she keeps the massager from 2 episodes back.
Oh, it's
Oh,
on right
that's-
now in that picture.
She looks like it's on.
It's
And as you see,
It's called
I
Eat
gave
Your Own Home.
I gave her an appropriate quote, backwards and dumb like Yoda talk do I, because that is basically what you get from this character. She talks backwards and dumb. It's unbelievable.
I did not love the scene at all, but it was totally typical of Kurtzman to have Commodore 3-Pack try to high five Captain Soy Pike, and he
yeah, up
didn't
top.
understand how to do it.
Yeah, they also forgot all human culture. Like Pike, if we put on like Yankees Dodgers, he'd been like, interesting. So the object of this game is to hit the spheroid object with the stick. And he'd be like, Pike, this is baseball. You played third base in high school. And it's like, what?
God, buddy,
Like that's seriously this is like when Mabanga throws the chicken bones in the air. I was waiting for. I knew if I left that one out there, someone would get it. Yes, thank you. I can depend on my chat and I can depend on my mods. We were you
Louis Colon.
Bravo.
She had a Louis. It was a Louis Crepon.
And her face there was because it burst.
Look at Nuhura right here. She's just like, ugh. And we had a callback joke to Enterprise. Spock wasn't allowed in Pike's quarters because he smelled too human. I was like, oh my God, they watched Enterprise. She keeps a picture of Andy Kaufman in that crotch pack. See, I liked her when she was Simca. And Simca was good looking too. I mean, aside from the fact that they made her hair look crazy, it's like Carol Kane was attractive at one point. This show just wants to convince you that heterosexual marriage is not worth it. They show you a once beautiful woman at like 80, and it's talking like this, and backwards. It's like, well, still want to marry a woman? We'll show you. Someone showed me today Alex Kurtzman actually is married. I have an opinion about
Allegedly.
that. I have an opinion about the veracity of that one.
Yeah, in theory.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
I
all
have an
nice and
opinion.
legal, and just
bar
say
is-
there's some eyes wide shut shit going on there.
That and some season 1 I Love Lucy sleeping arrangements. Get the hell out of here. We're talking about a man that we determined today cannot go 5 minutes without show tunes. Like in our chat, like we were all like, we don't like Shawn was like, I don't understand. I don't get why he keeps like hitting these same nightclub notes and these same drag performer notes and these same. And I'm just like, he is just stuck in that semester. His parents had to buy his way back into college, where all he did was take fucking LSD and go to clubs. Like, this is what happens, kids. Alex Kurtzman took so much LSD and went to so many nightclubs, in my opinion, that this is all he's got. This is all that's left. Don't do a bunch of LSD at nightclubs.
It's
Don't put
LDS.
ketamine. Yeah, don't put ketamine up your ass or whatever the hell this guy did. I mean, the idiotic
That's not what
things
he
that
was
we-
shoving up there.
whatever it was. This is like not even Pedro Pascal would take money to be in this. This look at Anson Mount's eyes. This is a beaten man. These people aren't acting. Look at their eyes. I think that he's burning a hole through the director. What do you think, Shawn?
Does she look like she has a bra on her head?
It does kind of look that way.
Yeah. I mean, and I also like, what Vulcan has a haircut like that?
It's illogical. He looks like Chip Hazard from Small Soldiers.
Not even Lower Decks had haircuts that look like that on Vulcans. And they would have done that.
That Kid in Play back in the late 80s or
Oh God,
early
yeah.
90s.
Yeah,
Kid.
Pike's ready for a house party. They race swapped Kid. It's Pike now. And by the way, here's the picture. You know, I did change it a little bit. If they can make her ugly, so can I, but I didn't have to pay her for it. I did squash it down a little bit and make her wider. But here it is, undoctored in beautiful high definition. This is Connie and Uhura. Well, their figures are kind of cute. They look all right in those dresses, and their arms are behind their back. Now, I want to point this out about women on TV and statements and stuff. Now, when they cast this show, they gave us a model, and we have all seen that Jess Bush has beautiful eyes that turn up in the corner, just like a cat's, and she could model like a diamond necklace or earrings, but she could never model a bikini. And this outfit is cruel to her. Okay, so she's got like fupa going on, like the fat upper pussy area is just out of control. And she is like in terrible middle-aged shape, really young. So she's just never going to look good. Sorry, Jess Bush. And you get paid to be attractive, so you're a walking contradiction. Lahan is cute. Like Connie and Uhura, they've got cute bodies.
I mean, Nurse Chapel does look frumpy, so I mean, yeah.
If we put that outfit on any of the other women, they wouldn't look as good, but I think Christine is uniquely qualified to look bad in it. And people, before anyone gets mad at me, she's had 5 years of this. She doesn't mind, okay? This doesn't bother Jess Bush.
It's a terrible costume. But let's not
And
talk
also,
about
it was
that for a
mean.
minute. It's a terrible costume to put on
The
anyone.
Gathers-
I don't think
the
it would
Grey
look good on
Gathering-
anyone.
The Grey Gathering accentuates where she's heavier, making her look heavier by imposing something of a silhouette on her without doing so with the gray. And that just makes you see that it's just two chips. She looks like a Lego human, and that, in fact, she's pretty pear-shaped, which that's a normal shape, but like then don't put her in a cat suit. Julie Newmar belongs in a cat suit. Put her in the kind of... you don't do this to fucking Rebecca Romaine because you still liked her when you wrote her contract. Jess Bush, I guess, is just okay with this. She also has a million tattoos, and you can usually see them during the show because when she moves her arms or walks around, they have not bothered to cover them. I think they show up to the set makeup ready. Now, the fact that they let Connie even have her own hair here shocks me. Connie always has white girl cornrows. How come her hair is logical, guys?
Who knows?
I'm being serious.
Who knows?
Like they didn't overly ugly her up. Is it because Rebecca Romaine is barely in this episode and she's not in the scene? You can look pretty when Rebecca's not around. The
Maybe.
prettiest girl in frame always has to be Rebecca if she's there. They are making a body positivity statement with Jess Bush. They don't care. Yeah, Connie's like 41. Yeah, she looks great.
This costume is unlike pretty much anything outside of maybe like Paul's or 7 of 9's. And when I mean that, and those, because those were not true Starfleet uniforms, every Starfleet uniform in every single show has at least 2 colors. Why? Because it helps break up the silhouette of the body, and you can hide things you might want to hide and accentuate things that you want to accentuate. You look at TOS, the top and the pants were different colors. TNG, they had the red, or the color in the middle. And then you look at the DS9 Voyager uniforms; those ended up evolving to give them color in different ways on the top of the uniform to try to break up, the image of the person. But if you didn't
And these
do
are
that,
all
you wore
silhouette
black.
hiding.
You
These
wore
are all
black
silhouette.
too.
Yeah, all these episodes, all these outfits are silhouette hiding because the outsides of them are black, all except Christine's. The female outfits, if you look, they're red in the center. If they were walking anywhere where it was dark, we wouldn't be able to see their figure. This is to nerf their figure most of the time. That's why it's designed that way. And Christine is just our body diversity experiment here, and she's just going to look bad, and they're going to pretend that she's gorgeous and she's clueless and she doesn't care. And she doesn't make enough to stop eating. In fact, on this show, if she doesn't go for seconds at the at lunch, she's making less money. This just ends as shallow with the comedic flop, leaning on a very tired Vulcan gags and no real Star Trek depth. And Krimwan's got he's got Pike figured out. I can do. Thank you, Krimwan, for this picture of Pike. Yeah, I mean, people have been saying this for the longest time.
Who wears it better, though?
Johnny Bravo. And the Johnny Bravo people have entertained me more because they did Clone Wars 2D, didn't they? Or is that and Samurai Jack, both of which I enjoyed. So they're more entertaining.
I have one.
Oh my God, go for it.
There we go. Did it work?
Almost. Here we go.
There.
Oh no.
There she is.
Oh, sir, were you bored?
No, I did it just now.
You made a pun.
I made a pun. You know what? It's a pine
Oh, I get it.
picture. She looks pine.
What if she says, "Sir"?
She needs to
permission-
spruce something up.
No.
Yeah.
What if she says, "Sir, permission to come on board"?
Oh,
Yeah.
I would say hello, Chris Pine. Oh God.
You're barking at the wrong tree.
Oh no.
No. Oh, you know what? Stick to your side of this conversation. That joke was a bit wooden. We're just going to leave it up here. I'm bored. Guys, you came to the right
don't
place. We have a
splinter
much
us.
worse show.
Okay, don't make the splinter.
That joke
It's
gets
a
stick.
splinter cell. You know, guys, like I said, the people doing Alien Earth, the show that they're making fun of, I mean, it's new. People are surprised it's bad. And with the end of our Star Trek discussion, I'm going to turn it over to the people who've been watching Alien Earth. I watched episode 4, some of it today.
What do you think?
Is that guy with the double processed platinum blonde hair? Is he a replicant too?
Yeah.
He's a synth. Yes.
Yeah, yes, he's a synth.
All right,
Yes.
there was something happening today where they were like, did I see 3 or did I see 4? They're talking about the Neverland analogy, which was decent for world building at first, but they're pounding on it. They're not teasing
I'm just
it.
wondering
you
where
saw
they're going. I'm wondering where they're going with that Michael
Did
Jackson
they make
timeline.
Did they make the xenomorph? Yeah. Did they make the xenomorph into the crocodile? One guy's got missing a hand. He's Captain Hook. Like robot guy's got like a stick that comes out of his hand, and so I guess that's Hook. But they said there's a ticking clock or something with the xenomorph, and they compared it to the alligator. Like just like first they foreshadowed it.
Language.
Yeah, they didn't want you to miss it. They're like they felt so clever, so they undermined it by saying it. Yeah, that's the one I saw.
That was.
I
did it have a lamb in it?
Yes,
That was 4.
Yeah, that's 4.
it wasn't
I think
terrible,
you're
but it was
misreading
confusing.
I think you guys are misreading the whole thing after I saw episode 4. I think it's misdirection. It's being misinterpreted. Yeah, that's what they're throwing up front, and that's the way everyone's taking it. But after I've seen what it is, and given what I know about some of the aliens expanded universe, they're taking this in a very dark direction, and not in the woke sense, but in the horror sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't detected any
this
woke stuff.
this is going
Have
to
they-
Alien Resurrection.
Has anybody
Alien
come across?
Resurrection.
Have they figured out like to have like a body snatcher alien that can appear human and wander around?
Well, we still haven't seen what the okay. So I think it's best to set it up, Teague, and let people, if they haven't actually seen the show or they're hearing a lot of different rumors about it, then you need to tell them about where the show is in the timeline. If you're on top of that.
Yeah,
I think the show is happening while the Nostromo is out on its mission. It's during the time that Ripley is frozen and drifting, I think.
It's 2 years prior to the events that you see in the first film. Okay, so it puts it roughly about 15
Okay,
years.
so she's frozen, but she's on cruise control.
Well, okay, she's well, the whole crew of the Nostromo is in hibernation at this point.
Or just finishing up that mining mission, right?
Yeah, they could be mining.
Well,
right?
they weren't really a mining ship. They were a freighter processing ship. They actually had.
That's true.
Okay, so they had been at port.
I wonder if they just trapped like an asteroid and like brought it in there and like crushed it up. We never got into that. They had some stuff on that ship.
No,
but
it's
didn't get
actually well established in the first movie what it is. It's a freighter processing ship. It's a refinery. So whatever ore or hydrocarbons that they've collected, they're actually it's refining what they have on
It's
board.
super logical because it figures like if it takes you 10 years to refine it and you're also traveling for 10 years, well, you can buy back some of that lead time. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's where they're at. So the events of this show precede those events by at least 2 years. And it's important for people to keep in mind that in the original novelization and in the film itself, because really Alien was not, it's not like, say, Lord of the Rings, where you had a book and then you make a screenplay and a film about it. This is in the reverse direction. You had a screenplay, and then Alan Dean Foster fleshed it out into a full story. That said, a lot of people have thought that, okay, well, this breaks canon because now you show the aliens before the first film. Well, no, that's not true because Weyland-Yutani already knew about the xenomorph prior to the events that you see in Alien. But Ash and Mother, which is the computer on board the Nostromo, already had the information. It was already downloaded. Weyland-Yutani knew what they were getting into with the Nostromo, and that's why the crew was considered expendable.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, Ash replaced the original science officer on the ship at their last stayover, at their last port of call, I should say.
He was probably a replicant too, but just really quick. So that's where they are on the time frame. And I guess the other thing that people should know is, much like most other people in the Alien franchise, what they're doing is they're taking some liberties and creating some new xenomorphs, and people are like not hating them. And I guess the only other thing I'd say is the last time the aliens made it to Earth was in what, 4? The Sigourney Weaver one, where with Winona Ryder, which was not one of the better ones, but because, like Radioactive said, it's not like Lord of the Rings or something. If they screw up a little or change something, I don't think anybody's going to like hit the roof. So like the new xenomorphs are kind of expected.
Some people want to, but you'll never make them happy.
That's if you don't count Aliens versus Predator, where they what were they on the Arctic?
You know, those movies weren't so great anyway.
I think that this debate just proves that they've got latitude in what they want to do on this show. And don't break, huge things, but you can bend a lot here and there, and it'll work. The show will just work.
But to be honest, I don't think they've really bent anything yet. And that's the point. Is there hasn't been any breakages or hard bending. Keep in mind, here's something that people aren't talking about with this show, and that hasn't been really discussed, although it kind of lurked in the background with Aliens Earth, and that is Alien is actually set in a cyberpunk universe. Now, whether you think that cyberpunk universe is Blade Runner or not, that's a whole other thing, but it is a cyberpunk genre universe. And they finally call that out explicitly in episode 4. Okay. They finally
Same
call it out.
production designer, right? That's why they look so similar. It's like
No,
Escher.
no, it's okay. You got to
It's the
go
style.
back.
Yeah.
The genre of cyberpunk starts with Neuromancer, which was written by the name's escaping me. I can see it, but I can't. You know who I'm talking about. Who wrote Neuromancer?
I don't remember, but whenever I go
Oh,
blank
yeah.
on whenever I go blank on an author, I just say Michael Moorcock because it's a great name.
Gibson's the guy that wrote Neuromancer. Anyway, what is this? You got to
His
understand.
name isn't as good as Michael Moorcock's, but okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so what is the cyberpunk genre? Cyberpunk genre at its core is a dystopian future where corporations basically govern all of human existence. And that's what we really have in this show now. And they've called that out explicitly because they say, oh, there's 5 big corporations, and they've done away with all of the nation state boundaries and all of the original, nation state.
All the overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
the Dutch East India Company and
all
Wagan
corporations.
Fujitami or whoever else.
Corporatocracy is what you have running everything.
Right.
So that's a little important, subtle thing. But as far as the core story is concerned, when you look at where they're going with things, they've got real sci-fi, just generally speaking. There's real science fiction elements in this show, which we haven't had in a lot of shows, including a lot of modern ones.
Mm-hmm.
And they're putting in hard questions. And one of the things I've noticed is that although Noah Hawley is the showrunner, keep in mind, Ridley Scott is still part of that overarching executive production team. And I realized with episode 4, Ridley's found a clever way to sneak back in a lot of the ideas that he wanted to get to in what was going to be his trilogy of movies with Prometheus. He's sneaking in through the back door with this show. And I'm not talking the engineers. There's other metaphysical ideas he wanted to explore, and he and Hawley are
I
going to.
wish you would sit down and explain that freaking opening sequence to Prometheus to me.
One of the things
I have no idea.
One of the things that I wanted to get everyone's opinion here on was when I watched these 4 episodes. And I hear somebody online talk about this show being woke and this, that, and the other. I looked at the 5, I don't know, Lost Boys or whatever you want to call that group. And I thought, well, scientifically, you're going to want a diverse set of humans. So that way you have a better scientific sample for your testing, right?
Yeah,
so that part didn't bother me.
Let's be careful about this stuff. This is another review-proof show with Alien Earth.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you're going to be doing your Frankenstein experiments, you don't want exact copies of all the same exact type of person. Okay, I'm not suggesting that.
No, I get it.
The idea that you have quote unquote a mixed cast of different people is not the issue here. Okay,
I guess what we're saying is the diversity is organic and does not seem forced.
Just like it reminds me of the way The Expanse did it.
Yes,
it's not a factor at all. It's just,
they actually managed to make that one interesting when we got when that's true too. But they actually made that interesting when we got Holden's Genesis story. He has 8 different parents and only one. Like Francis Fisher carried him, but he's the product of 8 or 9 people. That was crazy and interesting.
The other thing that I think people have been jumping on is the Wendy character, and the Wendy character seems to be amassing more and more and more power. And to me, I don't know if this is going to be a Mary Sue character or not. No,
it's not a Mary Sue character at all. And the reason why is because look, the body of, let's just say the body of the character is an android body, and they've all made all of these androids /synths / cyborgs to be much more capable and have greater durability than any of the organic human people. So no, there's no problem there. This isn't Ray Palpatine, okay? This isn't She's not going around saying, I know this and I know that and I know this and I know that. No, she's not doing any of that crap. So
She's going
Take
through
it
her
easy,
own
Wallace.
journey here.
that's
Good to
right.
see you.
My thing is, I think they're spending too much time just on her in the first 4 episodes, which can certainly change by the end of the season. I am secretly hoping that they really pull one from us on the very last episode, and she gets deleted by the alien or by somebody
No,
else.
they're going. Okay, this is almost like a spoiler. I don't know if people want to be spoiled on this.
Well, I'm trying not to.
Okay, well, let me put it this way. I'm pretty sure now after I saw episode 4 where they're taking her character, and it for those people that are big Aliens fan, they'll probably already know, but they're taking her in a certain direction that's in a lot of the comics / graphic novels in from Dark Horse, etc. That's where they're going with it, I think. Okay. So given that, it's going to take it in a pretty dark direction, but if there's any character that gets deleted that already a lot of people that are the casual viewers of the show already want to get rid of, it's going to be Boy Cavalier. He's going to have it
Yeah.
at the end.
I
Okay.
feel that way too.
And
now, by the way, was I right? The guy with the double processed blonde hair is he's
that's
a
Timothy
replicant, isn't he?
Oliphant. That's Timothy Oliphant, the actor. And
That guy unsettles me, and he reminds me of Landrew.
well, he's the top synth, and
Okay.
You already see.
So he's like 16. He's really old.
Or something, yeah. Well, see, that's also the character for those of you who were watching DC's show on Pop Culture Breakdown yesterday. The discussion where DC was asking, is this really part of the Blade Runner universe? And or is
God,
this
I hope not.
Well, to be fair, for those that watch Blade Runner 2049, there was a class vessel in that show, but
the thing is,
anyway,
really quickly, my frustration with Blade Runner 2049 was that movie for a sequel answers no questions. They kick the can on whether he's human, and worse than that, there's a ton of setup throughout the movie, crescendoing as the movie ends, and Danny Villeneuve goes, oh yeah, if it makes a lot of money, I'll tell people why it happened with the sequel. He was totally content to just throw us this 2 hours of absolutely nothing. There was no story told in Blade Runner 2049.
No, I would disagree with you on that, but that's a whole other thing. But
They,
anyway,
they danced around everything from the first movie it had its own little story. But for instance, like whatever happened with that android, with that replicant revolution we were hearing about for a long time,
well, that was going to be
goes away.
That was probably going to be the
war.
follow-up.
And then he said, "I didn't make enough money. Screw you."
Maybe we'll know when Michelle Yeoh comes in on 2099.
Why would you make a 100-year-old fucking replicant?
That's the Running with Scissors side quest show.
Yeah,
that was a good one too. Yeah.
So why are people knocking on Alien Earth then?
Why
are they saying it's bad? Why are they saying it's
why?
It's Disney. It's Disney, and it's got the smell on it.
And it is, in all fairness, it is very, very slow. Up to this point,
it is slow.
Very slow.
I'm fine with slow if it gets somewhere. If I end up liking it, I like the slow burn. I want to be immersed in the world.
I don't think it's slow at all.
Problem. They're not really immersing you.
Well, I'm not sure what you're thinking of for immersion, because the first 2 episodes, the second episode 2 was probably the most gory show ever put into what we'd call a TV format. I've never seen anything like that in a TV show before. Okay,
right.
and frankly,
it's streaming, so they can get away with that.
Yeah, I know. But my point is that when I thought back to all the stuff I've ever watched in TVs or movies, the only thing I could think of that came close was the first opening 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan. Okay.
Wow, so it's like
Yeah.
Hamburger Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, it's worse. It's
Yeah, but
worse.
It's worse than
gore without-
Hamburger Hill.
Well,
it's
wow.
without
it's
any
worse
real
in the
purpose
sense it's
to
more.
it.
It's worse in the sense that it's more gory.
So there's a lot of pig entrails and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so when people
Sounds-
say there's not enough action, I'm thinking, well, what the fuck did you watch in
They
episode
gave
2?
you gore and horror in the
You
first
got,
episode.
you got more action than
People
that.
crawling across
That
the
was at
ground
the
split in
same
half.
level of that was at the same level. Frankly, it was Aliens amped up to level 11 in terms of gore. Anyway, I mean, maybe not in terms of action and pacing, but come on, it's a TV
See,
show.
that's
They really
at
do
least
so
what you
much.
go to Alien. I don't necessarily love the blood and the gore. It's not my thing, but you understand when you're watching an Alien product that that's part of their world.
Yep.
I
That's what
was
you're
Yeah.
looking at all day.
last week on Strange New Worlds, where New Hura was just drenched in blood the entire episode for no reason. I'm like,
Oh, that was
this is
nothing.
unearned.
That
Unearned.
yeah, well, I know, but Soy Trek.
Well,
is,
that wasn't that also, it didn't bother me. That wasn't gore. I'm just saying, do you realize that you can't, like, there goes your video essay. This show is so review proof. If you do a video essay about the one 2 weeks ago where the guy had his eyes ripped out, he walks around covered in blood for the rest of the episode. They never put a band-aid on anyone. They never clean anyone up. Mabanga just, all he can do is push a button and throw chicken bones in the air. He absolutely never gives anyone any first aid. Never. Direct pressure, nothing. And then we have never seen blood on Star Trek like we did on this show. I watched Star Trek 6 the other day where they went to the Klingon ship where they blasted all those Klingons. And there was like Pepto-Bismol on the walls here and there. And that wasn't even like, coming under scrutiny as blood. This show, like, you cannot make a monetizable video. And if you don't, it's not monetizable, they'll bury it. So I'm not making it. I don't make them to make the money. I put the minimum commercials in them, and like they don't go to 8 minutes unless they're worth it. That's my pledge, and I try to go keep it under or go over by enough to justify the commercial, and I only do one. Folks, I think it was Radioactive. After our show, I showed him where YouTube had automatically placed the commercials. How many commercial breaks did it put in my 9 minutes there, Radioactive? Like 11.
I
No
think
way.
I actually
Wow.
Yeah.
you say it was like one every couple minutes or something was the max you could place into it. It was insane.
No, I had it on. I had it set to conservative.
it was more.
and
You're
there was
concerned.
11 or 12 in 9 minutes.
I thought that was the max load.
No, the max load is like 18 in 9 minutes.
Okay. I see what you're saying. 18.
Mine was set. I set mine to the minimum so that my video will not be buried. And also, if you keep going unmonetized, they'll ask you like, why are you going unmonetized, and they'll give you 4 reasons that you can answer them with. They don't want to know why. So like, I always give them the same answer. I'm competing with other people who don't monetize. And when I play the music, I can monetize that one because the music goes to the artist, and that falls on a lower level of scrutiny, and that enables us to give YouTube something that they want without us paying a price. I'm not about the ads, the watch ad money. I really just want to give you guys the best show. So
But you could never review Alien Earth because
Well, you can. You can.
I don't think you can make a video essay. You just have you can make a video essay. You just need the level of skill Disparu has. You have to be able to find the parts of it that do not have the amount of gore. You have to know exactly when to cut so that the barrel and muzzle of that gun do not point towards the frame of the camera. YouTube is much more prudish than television. If you show a streaming show, if you take 5 seconds of it, that 5 seconds still might break YouTube rules. And it could be Scooby. It could be that Velma show. You know what I mean? Like, you need Disparu's level of skill and discrimination. I'm not there yet, even for... Now, I could make a video essay for Strange New Worlds, but why do I want to make one that makes YouTube that much more angry at me? Disparu has 370,000 followers. He can experiment. He has a concierge from YouTube, according to what we hear from the people at Clownfish.
We could help you get there, Teague. I don't think it's that hard at all.
Um,
You use some still photos out of the show, and it wouldn't be that hard at all.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy. They don't
It's actually
really go
pretty
that
easy. I mean,
gory
look,
on
it's
most
The
not-
most successful YouTube New Trek reviewer is actually Dave Cullen with almost no video component, though. Think about it. It's just his avatar with the colors behind it. And he just talks about it in very euphemistic terms because it's so controversial.
You
Drinker
No,
will go for it, but go ahead.
Dave Cullen, you got to discount half of that because most of his channel isn't entertainment.
A lot of our people really like his opinion on Star Trek. I find him to be inconsistent. Sometimes I'm like, hell yeah, brother. And sometimes I'm like, well, you're allowed to think that. He's never outright
He also gets the
offended me.
episodes early and releases a finished video like 12 hours before the show airs.
I thought that's because he lives in England and it's 8
Is it?
o'clock in the morning when it drops, and he is done by 1 in the afternoon because he's been turning them around.
He
so
had a
fast.
video up yesterday
He could have.
at lunchtime. Yesterday at lunchtime.
On what day was it in England? What
It
day
was
was it here?
when-
If
it
it
was
was
Wednes-
after
it was
Wednesday morning
Wednesday.
at midnight in
Mhm.
America.
Is
No,
when
it was-
Wednesday after he had 13 hours, starting at 8 a.m. his time.
No, it was before the episode dropped an hour in for us though.
Oh, it's on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
day
he has
before. Yeah.
He knows somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he could get in a lot of trouble if they didn't want him doing that. There's a reason why he doesn't get to hang out with some of the cool kids, I guess, because you don't see him on a lot of shows. Dave Cullen is kind of out there on his own. He is good, and I find him to be. He is Irish, and I dig his accent. He sounds like he's from I'm gonna guess the North because it's real lyrical. He sounds a little like Liam Neeson, but what the hell do I know? I like his accent, and but whatever. Dave Cullen stuff. Doing a New Trek essay is a little bit difficult. We had talked about aliens. I don't know how much is left in that one. And as far
4
as
episodes this season, assuming that they get a green light for another one. But we're halfway through the show or the season right now.
so without getting deep into spoilers, I guess the word on that one is episodes 1 through 4 still make a case to watch episode 5. The show is not dead and shouldn't be written off, in your opinion. Shawn, how about you on Aliens? Because I know you're much more into it, much more up to speed in it than I am. I've like stroboscopic idea of this show. I have to sit down and actually watch it.
I'm really enjoying it. I didn't care for the third episode. I was just kind of bored with it. But
Was
this
that the one you
last
called Melancholy?
No, that was Peacemaker.
Oh, okay,
Peacemaker
that's right. That was.
I hated Peacemaker.
I was like, wow, man. I waited all day to hear someone use a word that good.
I call that show
Peacemaker was-
Pacemaker.
I thank you for that.
No, but no, Alien Earth. I'm enjoying it. I mean, I know some people don't like a slower pace of as far as story reveal, but I like it as long as I like the world you're showing me. I can deal with the slowness. But this episode 4, there was a lot that happened. It's great. I mean, I'm still in on it. I just hope it doesn't turn to crap. And that's
seems
one of
to
my
be the
things
streamer
is
problem. You're approaching episode 4 and 5, where we usually do hit a speed bump because episode 4 is supposed to build it up so that you want to see episode 5, but episode 5 won't pay it off to kick the cans to get to you to renew at 8.
I'll tell you, this one was not made particularly for streaming. It was originally meant for FX.
Oh, okay. So it was supposed to
It's
be a
developed-
series.
Yeah, it was developed for cable, but didn't think
No way that's ever going to make it on cable.
I gotta be honest with
Not in
you,
its
though,
current
You
form.
wouldn't, but
streaming pacing is becoming a problem that we're seeing across all streaming.
well, internal to the show, the pacing, frankly, in my opinion, is fine because although like episode 4 was slower than 1 and 2, you got to keep in mind the big complaint that I heard on several different channels was that they weren't doing any character building in episodes 1 and 2. Well, you got the character building in 3 and 4, and then you're bitching that there's no action.
Some
So,
people
I mean-
didn't care for the world
I
a
don't
little
think
bit.
they really
Like,
did
that's
too much character building. I'm still 4 episodes in, not invested in any one of these sons of bitches. I could.
Well, I am, because I
I
know some of them are going to split. Like, they're starting to crack. There's psychological problems starting to show, and now we got to one. They're going to end up taking sides. I think they're gonna split off into a couple factions here. That's part I'm interested to see who does. Like, there's the one who's being manipulated. I'd like that guy.
This is the turning point for the show. This last episode was the pivot episode, because I've seen them all.
By the way,
twice
just
now.
really quick, Big Dave K. No, his accent isn't that thick. I find it. He's very easy to understand. When I say I like his accent, I find it lyrical. I don't know. He's got like one of those cool sounding brogues. And guys, by the way, thank you so much for making my video have one more like than Strange New Worlds has producers. And if you're out there and you're listening later, give it another like. So Alien Earth still very much alive. Reports of it being woke seem unfounded. Every show has the seeds to go off the rails at any moment. So, also, we have found that most shows these days, and anybody who wants to chime in on this, has anyone noticed? I noticed this with Taylor Sheridan. A lot of people will put a powerful female character in there, but they'll let her be evil, and they'll use that as their woke credit card. They'll be like, "We got a powerful female character. She happens to be evil, but we got one." In Landman, it's the female lawyer.
Oh God, yeah, she's awful,
but she's got power.
See, I think Alien Earth is going to make it, hopefully, to the end. What they're going to have a problem with is if people haven't tuned in to the level that Disney wants, they're not going to give them enough money for a great season 2, and they'll try to do it on the cheap, and then season 2 will be awful, and then they'll be done.
Yeah,
I really fear that's the future of it.
That's the problem with a lot of these shows, is they give them a season, and it's not just Disney. It's you see that in Netflix a lot as well. You see that on HBO Max.
Oh yeah, Netflix will drop a series like that.
Crapple's done it too. You might want to ask what Krimlon thinks of Alien, because I know he's been watching all the episodes as well.
Oh, I loved it. I think this last episode was pretty slow, but there was some really interesting things.
That lamb scene was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was so good. That was so good.
Yeah,
I won't spoil it, but it's
the
a
redhead?
good lamb scene.
I forgot. Was it the redhead from Alien? She going, having a psychological break was making it very interesting towards the end.
Oh, I like how Big Dave K has the right attitude. Like, all Dave's got to stick together, right?
You have a big army of Daves in the world, so I'd say
hear
so.
A pop. Oh, look who it is, sirs.
Sir.
You're
talking about Alien Earth,
sir.
and I just had to put my input in on Alien Earth.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
I'm with Shawn. I like this show. It started off a little slow. Episode 1 was like it's been gaining momentum. I think it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, I do too, but therein lies my fear, because I'm watching it because we do it on Wednesdays, but I kind of have a rule. I don't watch modern stuff until the series is done and it has good reviews. There's too much good old TV that I've never watched for me to spend my precious little time on something that more than likely odds are is going to end up sucking. Because that's all we've had the last 10 years, is being let down by stuff. And I'm just afraid. But so far, I don't like investing in things only to be pissed on.
Well, it's a legitimate concern, Shawn. But look, we all know all these.
There's Game of Thrones is still out there in people's minds, right?
Well, they
Yeah,
pulled.
well, yeah.
That's a little bit different in the sense that, yet again, that's one that was based on a series of novels, and then they went off the rails. And that's also, in part, the failure of J.R.R. Martin, who never completed his series of books. So
Yeah.
there's,
Right.
Bought the train,
there's-
but he never got
but-
back on it.
But by the
Let's
way,
look
I'm
at the
I'm
other
changing
shows.
my name to Admiral J.R.R. Teague so that
There
I
you
can sound smarter too, right?
So-
Those
so-
two R's were added later in life to make money.
Yeah, if you look at some of the other shows out there, I've heard that like Squid Game kind of went off the rails on Netflix after season 1. There's a lot of trending analysis out there on all these different shows, and they seem to hit this point, and then they just kind of they really don't go anywhere. So look, the only way we're going to know is when we see it. There's no
Yep.
way to make that prediction a priori. But I do think the people that are claiming that it's quote unquote woke, look, let's look at the things they haven't done, and all the discussions, even in terms of people that are talking about it quote unquote being woke, they never bring up any woke ideology in the show, really. It's always stuff associated with pacing, the characters, all this stuff, which is what you always used to talk about with regular shows.
So I mean, that tells me enough. Like everyone's interested, and I trust the people here. But again, the Game of Thrones is still out there, and we could find this show going like wildly off the rails, like the Indiana Jones minecart that every
Look,
streaming show now is.
It's
That's still out there. I just
know
want to
that.
say that.
It's just proceed with caution, but give it a chance to prove itself. You don't want to just say it's crap right from the start when you haven't even seen
No.
that product.
No,
Right.
we're
And
gonna-
also,
I want-
remember, like,
go ahead.
Out of
Final
out of
thoughts on
history
Alien
of-
Earth, and then I want to circle quickly back to Star Trek to end. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I mean, out of the history of television, season 1 of almost any show is never the best one. So, like we hold shows to a much higher standard
Unless
than we used
it's
to.
Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, but going back real quickly about being disappointed, like the Orville, where the hell is it? They're well, that's all Seth MacFarlane's fault, but I'm tired of getting let down.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
I agree.
The Orville was in tonight's episode, Shawn, because number one
Yeah.
admitted that she drinks more than Seth does, and
Oh,
in
yeah.
the Orville.
That's hard to believe.
Which
And
might
No, it's
be
not. Have you
Except
seen
we
her
never got
belly?
a UFO season 2.
UFO season 2 is called Space 1999. I can live with it.
Nice.
What I'm upset about is that we had a UFO season 1. So we were here to celebrate these people. Here they are,
Good Lord.
and I want to say, like, do you have to be a stereotype? I don't know if his accent is so stupid. Not Dave Collins, but Corby's. That I don't know if this magically delicious motherfucker is really Irish. But
Wow.
since you're playing an Irish character, like I know the show does it to you, but is this just your look? Like in the did you notice tonight when he shows up to reconcile with Christine, he comes simping up to her, and he's just like, ever since I've missed the deep dents on the side of the mattress where you lay, Christine, and he's just like, it's like. It's been almost 2 weeks. My bed has flattened out again. I miss your presence.
God, I did not realize that Lodka's wife was this short.
She's almost as tall as Mabanga.
No, she's on platforms though.
Yeah.
So is Anson
So is-
Mount.
Listen,
So is
I
he.
will pay money
Um,
if she acts like her character from Scrooge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she can't do the voice anymore. But here's the thing: like going from right to left, which is the opposite of what we usually do. What I see here is the least engaged person there is the one person who seems to have. I don't know this. There are 2 theories that this show is working on now about Strange New Worlds. We have, I'll just say it. Anybody who disagrees, just tell me. But there was some kind of problem on the set filming like one of these last few episodes, and things are not good there anymore this season. So say we all.
So
I
say
think it's
maybe.
been like that a while.
Yeah.
No, the performances got much worse the last episode. We were saying like, what the hell happened? Did they all get into a fight on the set? And then the next episode after it's 2 episodes. 2 episodes back, their chemistry was so bad we thought that there was a fight between the set between the crew and the cast, or the writers and the crew and the cast, with the writers on their own against the cast and the crew, with things like we'll call our union reps, or we'll call our lawyers, or you're never going to work again, we will, being yelled at them. We were here before you, Kurtzman will be here after you're gone, said the camera operator, and the guy who operates the boom mic just fucking just stood there and scoffed. But the crew, like as I look at the crew of this show, the cast, Ethan Peck, he could be parking cars. He didn't even give a shit. He gave no fucks about coming to this one. He's just had a few drinks.
Why is he wearing a woman's shoe?
I don't give a shit about his bad alligator shoes, but you're right. He should have some socks on. He's been watching Miami Vice like me and RRTNZ. But you know what? He's like disengaged, as Spock has been mostly disengaged. I think he got so much crap last year for being such a bad Spock that people really went off on him, and that he lost a lot of people, and that he started to hear it. And because of the fact that he is Gregory Peck's grandson, I think that there are other descendants of Gregory Peck who are equally successful or more successful, who are saying things to him like, you know what, Ethan, I know that you don't, but we watch Star Trek, and you got to sit down and watch some of this with us. And he's like, my God. And like, yeah, you need to like not debase this character anymore. He's like, I didn't realize that there was this big culture of people that they had conventions. He's like, you're going to be going to them soon. He's like, shit. And he's like, when they did this stuff to Spock, it was all mostly in season 2. In season 1, he's still stupid, and they can never get it right. But Ethan Peck seems to be trying. In season 2, they had all that spork stuff that we see in this video clip that we keep showing you, where he's just, it's so ridiculous, but this is actually in the show. So I think he has an entertainment lawyer and a good agent, more so than the other people in this cast, aside from Carol Kane. And he is able to say, go fuck yourselves. I'm not putting on a jacket, and I'm not listening to you anymore, Kurtzman. This, to me, seems to be a man who said, I'm not going to ruin my career anymore. Ethan Peck's Spock this year is still an idiot and is no fun. But have you noticed that he has not taken center of any of these stories? He's on the edge being an idiot, but he's really not taking up a lot of screen time. Then we got
Except for the
Nuhura.
Freaky Friday one.
They have him dancing.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that was last season.
He was Yeah, he has really not been in many of these episodes. This Freaky Friday, he was in it more, but his behavior in the Freaky Friday episode, while still stupid, he was not the buffoon jackass they made him last year. He was like, you will find adjusting to be Vulcan will be difficult. And he was the only one able to deliver as a Vulcan. All of them are horrible. The worst one was probably Nuhura. I think Nuhura was the worst, but Nuhura here, she got the memo. She dressed as a man, but she did wear a short skirt. Then Mabanga, he got the message too. He's sort of like androgynously dressed with that weird scarf. Whatever. He's an actor. He's allowed to get away with it. Carol Kane looks and dressed like she's her age, and she knows she's just cashing a paycheck. We love Carol Kane.
I think she's just
nice.
having fun. She's like, I'm good.
She's not having fun, but she's making money.
You don't think she might just be
I don't
happy
think
to be
she's
in front of
having
a
any
camera?
fun. I don't. She's happy that she's an older woman in Hollywood making money, but I think that she's friends with people like Ann Magnuson. I think that she knows Star Trek, and I think that she's been around movies a lot longer than Alex Kurtzman. Sized him up right away, took his money, and gave him what he wanted, and gets out of there. She likes the cast. I don't think she digs him. That's personal opinion.
Do you
I
think
have
she goes to
on.
Ethan Peck and goes, I fucked your grandfather?
That went through my mind today, and I think that she probably did say like something like, this is the kind of thing that I think happened, honestly. Like, she might have said, just when he was being a buffoon last season, Ethan, sit down with me. I actually don't talk backwards. It's nice to meet you. Do you know I'm friends with Bill Murray? Would you like to meet him someday? He likes your acting. He says that this show sucks too. Listen, I need money. We all know this. And you could go somewhere, Ethan. You're only 28 or 35 years old, whatever you might be. You have a career ahead of you.
You know what
you can
this
play
is?
dads on Hallmark, and you're ruining that here. You're ruining even playing a dad on Hallmark here. You've got to like flex your muscles. Your cousin Bob is my agent too. Why don't you have, you know what? Ethan Peck has not been part of the jackassery. She's got nothing to lose. Someone was going to make a point. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, you know what this is? It's Ethan Peck is smiling with that grin because he already worked out a deal with Indeed through his agent to be their spokesperson, and he knows everybody else in this picture is going to have to use Indeed to find their next job.
If given a good, yeah, you're right. And also, is that true? Is he the Indeed
Oh, I
voice?
have no idea. No, I'm just making that
He
up.
could. I would give
He
him
can do
voice
it.
acting work because I'm going to be honest. If we gave him a good script, I am not uninterested in seeing how Ethan Peck would try to approach a well-written Spock. If we had the Star Trek dinner theater that we imagined, I wouldn't mind seeing Ethan Peck try to play Spock from an original series episode in a serious manner. I'd like to see what he could do. I really think that he probably was a little let down. Remember, these people, aside from Nuhura, they were part of still Khan 1.0 when Kurtzilla was accused of, making the show bad on purpose to get bought out. And I will say it again. It is my opinion and I cannot support this. But this is the United States of America and I have freedom of speech. And I'm sorry for sounding like an American political show, RRTNZ. I addressed that a little earlier. I'll talk to you about it later. It's because of a lot of it has to do with this material. We had to talk about a lot of stuff that's very hot button. And they can do shows, they can do stuff that we can't even really talk about here. But as far as Carol Kane, I think she might have helped Ethan Peck out. Then we got freaking Corby here. This guy, whether he's Irish or not, did he have to show up in off-the-rack clothes looking like shit and drunk and with messy hair? I realize that's his thing, but when he came simping back to Christine with his magically delicious Irish accent, I was ready for him to do a Pedro and taste the rainbow. I felt like she was very safe from Corby. What the hell was up with that drunk?
Yeah, what's up with his pants? Like they're clown size on the top, and then they're tucked into his boot.
Yes.
He's wearing 10-hole Doc Martens, and he's a fucking 40-year-old man.
Admiral incoming subspace transmission.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we gotta.
Yeah. And of course we got I think Dadman was the one who said like the wrap up Spike. We're going to be here for a solid few more, but yeah, we are getting into the final phases of this where we're going to put back the frightening picture from before. This not for the weak of stomach, but it is a picture of our heroes.
Hey, Crazy Horse just popped in as we were getting ready to wrap up.
It is great to see you. Don't go anywhere. We're going to bring back our Shiros. So anyway, this is a show mostly about these three characters and Mabanga. This week, we did major damage to the franchise. We took a wrecking ball to the Vulcans. We acted stupid and irresponsible with Star Trek lore. And we usually give a grade. I'm not going to do that this week. It's a yay or a nay. I asked the audience this one, and they get to answer one question. You guys are answering another. We got 31 votes. It's going to be interesting. Think about your answer while I check the audience's poll vote. Shawn's in charge of remembering the question. Do you guys think that they're being made bad on purpose? Because CBS, if they let this out in the wild, any new Star Trek show could be successfully not derailed, but hurt in a way that you would have to spend money to overcome. It's actually better to pay Kurtzman and control this so you can burn it later than let Amazon have it and show it for free. Or worse yet, when you launch your new Star Trek that's supposed to be good, Bezos, to make himself look less stupid, gives everybody $2 of Amazon Prime Video for watching this garbage. If you make it to 11 minutes of Strange New Worlds, you get a whole movie. That's... So I want the question to you is simple. In your opinions, because we have no facts, I again say these are our opinions, sirs and madams. Is it extortion on a financial corporate level? So our audience was asked the question, and I love our audience. I thank you all. You guys are the best. You have supported me. through all this time of being a YouTuber since I started out almost a year ago, and we're gonna have to think about the 2-year badge. But I was trying to get something else on stage, sirs and madams. I had your chats. I wanted to put them up. Let's see if I can find them. I gotta open up a new tab. Another browser tab. YouTube is reliable for those since last summer. Are they ever gonna fix that? I appreciate the extra views, but I would much more prefer that they show how long people listen to this show. Honestly, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And wow, RRTN said thank you for the $2 New Zealand super chat. Chuck Norris used a Borg ship as a Rubik's cube. Oh, Shawn, I figured this one out in junior high. Tell me if anyone else did this. Like, people would get crazy and try to solve their Rubik's cubes, and they couldn't solve them. So someone cued me in on this, and I did an imitation of being a genius. I took a Rubik's cube, and it was solved, and I turned it the same way, the same direction, over and over and over and over, convincing people that I had scrambled it and counted how many times. And I'm like, okay. And this is bullshit. I can solve it. Rubik's Cubes, they're for losers. Everyone who can't solve a Rubik's Cube, you're a bunch of losers. And, I was getting in trouble at Catholic school for doing this boast, you know what I mean? And then, I went backwards the amount of times and resolved the cube. And they were like, oh, wow, Teag is a genius. It's like, I told you that you're all dumb. And of course, I got my ass kicked in the schoolyard. But my mother was called to school for the discipline thing. They're like, we don't understand how a kid this smart can be so dumb. And I'm like, I'm really good at pretending to be smart. So, audience, I now can show you their opinions and share it with you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Wow, 22. Everyone else can leave. I'm going to vamp for time with 22. We might beat a monthly high. Oh, RRTNZ, and I heart your chat.
All that LDS
we got another one
last Thursday.
I did all that, and in July and in the 90s, and the LDS that my mother did in the 60s. So yeah, I did LDS in the 60s. My mother did it. Chuck Norris can make Cardassians reject fascism. Chuck Norris could make Cardassia great again. Okay, and I want to thank you, RRTNZ. Here's the deal. I said this at the beginning of the show. I'll say it at the end. They bring us down a particular path of angry Americans on the losing side of our current political equation. I take no stand on political issues, and I would have a lot more probably concurrence if I went further into it. The Sir stuff and the other stuff, I feel that's good fun, and I don't feel that judges the president. I feel whoever was president, that would be done. Am I wrong, guys? Am I being too mean?
Sir,
I'm trying to be
controversial, sir.
I feel like everyone deserves to enjoy themselves, and that for a while every day, while politics exists, we can have no rancor. And I don't mean that as a diss on Ranker Steve. Ranker Steve is great. But Romulans invented the cloak tech, says RRTN's. Chuck Norris is why Romulans invented the cloak tech. I almost bought a cloak off Amazon today to wear on camera because I thought it would be fun and funny. And JT Kirk says, make Ben Siskel corporeal again. I love We've got it. I hope everyone feels it's okay not to highlight your super chats because they're right on screen. I thank you. From the bottom of my heart, it's you know what, it's the end of the month, and it's a tough month for YouTubers. Summertime is a tough time, and you guys really have come through in the last couple of weeks to turn this month around. And today, honestly, I will never ask for money, but I guess it's a soft ask when I thank you. But I do feel gratitude, and I do feel that when I was able to go out and make money this month on my own in the real world, it was only because when things were really, really tight a few months ago, I had a cell phone bill that I couldn't pay, and you guys took care of it for me. So I love you, and I thank you.
Hey,
and I know it's August. Oh, wow.
Eminem.
Miskatonic Madman coming through with the $10 American Super Chat. Well, I'll tell you what, I will do the song to wrap up the show because I want to do the poll and I want to keep this cohesive and I want to stay on point, and I love my panel. I want to get their opinions in here about this, and I love you guys. So, has season 3 of Strange New Worlds gotten worse since week 1? Yes, it's worse, 50%, and I would be among you. Anyone here? I think it's been worse every week, so say we all.
So say
So
we
we all.
all.
We'll say we all about that.
Germ says one was a little less bad and that they broke the pattern, correct?
To a point, yeah.
To a point, yeah. So Germ stands, yeah, that's what I love about my panel. No one's afraid to disagree with me. And hey, Crazy Horse getting in on the act. I will thank you for that from the bottom of my heart right now. And like that, Crazy Horse, thank you for the $5 American. Welcome. I love the
Thank you,
name.
everybody.
I love the name. I am a huge fan of the American Guardian, as we like to call him on this channel, because we'll get in trouble if we don't, and we mean that with respect. And welcome to the fun. But here's your reaction to our poll, and let me change this to freaking live chat, guys. Always try to go for live chat. YouTube keeps defaulting you back to their filtered version of it. Don't fall for their censorship. They don't exactly volunteer us for it, but they volunteer us for it. Okay. Yes, it's the worst. 32 votes. People are still voting. Guys, it's no mail-in ballots, okay? It's the same, 16%. Germ, did you go with it's the same?
Yeah.
Okay. I only watch streams about it, 31%. You guys, thank you. 1/3 of you helped. That certainly is an important part of our analytic that put us over the top. And see results like stream, 3% of you. You're all wonderful people. We thank you so much. I'm going to end the poll now. Thank you. I really deeply, deeply appreciate it. And now I believe that because we had a super pair in there, I do need to get out there and sing the super pair song. It's the right thing to do. So I want to thank Miskatonic Madman for the amazing $10 picture super sticker of super pair. Let's see if I can come up with an original enough one. Look what's happening to Teag. I can't believe it myself. Suddenly he can't wait for it to be September 11th so he can talk about something fucking else. Believe it or not, it's a flying pair. I never thought someone would send one to me. It's flying away 'cause there's wings on that pair. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just Teag. Thank you! And thank you all. And thanks, guys. So I'm going to go from bottom to top. I'm going to ask you, do you think in your considered opinion, sirs, and tell me, do you think that this show is being made on purpose to extort money so that they can't let it out in the wild? Because this is Kurtzman's deal. Understand this in answering the question, and understand this, our dear viewers. Kurtzman has the right to make Star Trek. They don't have to pay him. They don't have to pay for him to make it. He has the right to make it. This is known, and this has been published in things like Giant Freaking Robot. The reason why Stacey Abrams plays Earth President is because the money for that season came from the Democratic donor base for president. So maybe you could say it could have gone to worse stuff, but I don't know. This show has engaged in being propaganda and should be treated as such, and is treated as such by me. Now, I believe that it is so bad that they are making it as bad as possible on purpose so that Kurtzman can get maximum money from CBS, because then the threat is, I'll just give this to Jeff Bezos and he will be able to brand bust your new Star Trek. For those who don't know what brand busting is, I found this out in a documentary about the beer industry. I don't know who knows this story. But there was a thing in Long Island called like Oyster Bay Ale, right? And or Blue Point Ale, and Anheuser-Busch got them on their radar because they hit 2% market share in New York, which is a lot of money. So Budweiser launched a look-alike brand with the same name. Instead of called Blue Point, it was called the Blue Oyster Bar beer or whatever. So they made them look bad. They undercut They undercut their price, right? This was a fucking a microbrewery that got distribution rights somehow. So they overcame all that and put in that huge capital investment. Anheuser-Busch comes to town. They put out an imitation of their product that you can't tell apart, and they sell it for substantially less at a loss. Because remember, this is a marketing campaign for them. 2 years later, no one can tell the two beers apart, and the first beer company goes out of business because half their money got siphoned off the people getting a bargain from Budweiser, and now everyone thinks their beer is shit and they're done. So you can't let the Alex Kurtzman Star Trek out there because he'll brand bust you. That is my thinking and why it would be corporate extortion. So, and thank you for all the Greatest American Heroes, Miss Katonic and JT. I love the Greatest American Hero logo because it's a sign of respect. It's a sign of respect to my channel. Perhaps to me.
Well, but before we answer, I do know our current panelist Wes Cagle sent in a so controversial.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, sir.
No, I'm not controversial at all. I'm never controversial.
F YouTube. I have to get that off screen, but okay, we showed it. F
You don't
YouTube,
want to read it out loud?
No, read it out loud.
I'm going.
That's just for us.
F YouTube, it sucks the sweat off a dead man's balls. I think you actually can say that. I've heard worse, so I don't care. I've been careful, and I'm mostly careful. You know what was really weird was, and who would believe this one? I said, like, you know, what I've heard YouTuber Admiral Teag is very controversial, indeed. And Grok was like, Admiral Teag is like not big enough to be controversial, but he has a squeaky clean reputation and keeps to himself. He doesn't have much to say.
He doesn't even, no, Gronk doesn't even know you're from Queens, though. He thinks you're from somewhere else.
It thinks I'm from Wyoming.
Yeah.
It thinks I'm from Wyoming, and it also thinks, for some reason, that I created like 2 or 3 other YouTubers. It thinks that they are figments of my imagination or characters I created, so that I can engage in light mockery. It said I'm like
light mockery. Yes. Yeah.
And then I said, who is Admiral Teag? What is his real name? And it said, Admiral Teag's real name is Ricky Vaughn. And I'm like, and I was like, Ricky Bobby? And I was like,
that's just a little bit outside.
So I said, no, really, what's his real name? That's not it. To see what it said, it's like, you're right. Admiral Teag's real name is Gary Beekler. And I was like, that's bullshit. What's Admiral Teag's real name? And it goes, you're right. Admiral Teag's real name is Ryan Kinnell. So I'm like, okay, I'm safe still for now. But wow, it knows I'm Ryan Kinnell. Okay, so anyway, it's your pal, the Critical Drinker. I mean, Admiral Teag. My God, Grok, thanks a lot. But, honor by association. And I'm going to tell everyone out there, if you're a YouTuber and you can take the heat, take your YouTubing to Reddit. Take your YouTube to Reddit. I don't have to buy impressions. I throw myself at the feet of the Redditors and they mock the living shit out of me and they make fun of my voice. Oh my God. Someone said, listen to this British cigarette from England. That's how ignorant the comment was. And then someone was like, are you an idiot? The man sounds like Bugs Bunny. He's clearly from New York. And I'm like, well, this person is also heavily mocking me, but at least it's in a way I can enjoy. And oh my God, RRTNZ doesn't want the ribaldry to end.
No.
The tales of ribaldry go on with Alec Baldwin as Mr. Cherrywood. Klingon Wet Dream being deleted by Chuck Norris. I goes, are you being killed by Chuck Norris? You know what? I went to the deli today and I said, sir, I will have a kill pickle. It was sweet. You know what? One of the things that I have to say is thank you all so much for being with us. And we have an excellent, possibly 2 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise this weekend, because I don't know. I think Star Trek news, and we captured Smegma. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Breaking Star Trek Enterprise news. It's only 23 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. The Xindi war criminal Degna was captured by Federation forces in an operation launched in Bagram this morning. No Federation forces were injured, and he is now in custody.
Smegma.
We've captured Smegma, and he's on a shuttlecraft with Archer, and Archer and him just have, it's a really good psychological episode. Here's the thing. We can do it in 2 pictures. I don't need any fucking pictures. There's no B-plot. We're just with Smegma the whole time. It's cool. We have an understanding of why he went evil. Smegma is supposed to be what's his name? Albert Speer. He's the Yahtzee who said they were sorry.
Oh God,
He's Albert Speer. Sir, Albert Speer did 20 years in Spandau prison where he learned ballet. It's true. I know this much is true. If anybody got that, you got it. If you know, you know. Some of us are old here. You know what, guys? We're going to be doing Star Trek Enterprise this weekend. The 2 episodes are the one with Smegma, and what's the one after that? Are we revisiting Spacecraft? I'm going to take a look right now.
No, it's I forget. It's not that though.
Similitude, Carpenter Street, Chosen Realm, Proving Ground, Strategery is the one with Smegma.
Strategy.
And Harbinger. Strategerum, yes. Stratagem. Stratagema,
Stratego.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to bring on the father we're going to bring on Grand Nagus Shrek and put things on his fingers and have him have 3 extra noses, and he's going to play Stratagema against Jonathan Frakes. And before we go tonight, you know what? I'll always love Riker, but I have very low regard for Jonathan Frakes these days. Jonathan, your wife makes enough money, John. John, what the hell is wrong with you? As a friend, stop making Star Trek with these people. Stop enabling them. I think there's a renaissance coming, John. You've already insinuated yourself in far too many Star Trek projects. And to Michael Sussman, I say to you, Mikey, MS, Sus, Seuss, listen to me, buddy, pal. You gotta listen to me right here. Don't collaborate with any of the new Trek writers. And you know what? Just please, just try to have some action in this show. And we thank you. We'll be back on Saturday night with Star Trek at 10 o'clock. To which I say to my crew, sirs, what are you doing? Shawn, you've been busy and you made me a great model. You get to go first tonight. What is your week up in? Where will we see you and what will you be doing?
Well, I'm trying to finish up the TOS Enterprises about the same size as the NX-01 I sent you, but it's given me some problems, and I don't have a lot of time on my hands these days, so trying to sneak out to the garage and get that done. And I forget what movie we're doing on Wednesday, so I don't know, but come
Pink
check
Flamingos.
us out.
It's Pink Flamingos this week. We basically watched a bad version of Pink Flamingos. Was at least fun, honestly. All right. Radioactive, you'll be here and in different chats. And any news from the world of Helldivers 2 or anything like that?
Oh, you mean the gaming world, which I'm not a gamer in?
Yes, the gaming world in which you're not a gamer in.
Oh,
or any non-content content coming out.
That's any non. Well, there's plenty of non-content coming out. I've always got that coming out. But game-wise, let's see.
Like Mike Zero that way.
Yeah, Helldivers new update next week. The Halo HD2 crossover. War Bonds already out. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, NMS just dropped their new update that basically was they basically killed Starfield in one DLC, free DLC this week. So that's
it wasn't already dead?
Oh, it was dead, but basically
we can always dishonor its corpse a bit.
People are already saying they did it better than Bethesda did, and they gave it out for free. So
Crazy Horse is looking for a Voyager model. Shawn can be commissioned. Okay,
I have
moving
one that
on.
I haven't. I have to build. I had a really good one that I built, and it fell off my shelf and shattered.
Oh
Ouch.
God!
Ouch.
Yeah,
Well, wait a
You
minute.
know
That's if
what?
you can show a ship that was
It-
destroyed by the Borg now.
yeah. I was so angry at myself. I
What
threw it
sucks
away.
is we've seen the Voyager destroyed more than any other starship because it has so many hypothetical cold opens where they all die.
Yeah,
Like,
but
Well,
more than any other show.
at least the model is on par with the series now.
exactly. Yeah, but yeah, Crazy Horse. If you want to go to the Sci-Fi Model Guide, you can email me in through the channel info, and we could talk.
And you can see the work. If you have a membership to this channel, you can, and you do right now. You can see the whole 9-minute unboxing, and anybody who wants to can go to Admiral_Teag on X. And I posted the video there too because it was really good work, and I'm gonna have this model forever. So I wanted my friend to get due publicity for it. So I made sure to put it up there on X and I pinned it to the top of my profile. You don't have to look for it. So you should also follow me because earlier tonight we showed everybody the thing we talked about because seeing is believing. And I guess we'll move on up to West Kegel. No, I'm sorry, the single-celled organism, the legend Germ. What are you up to this week, Germ? Germ, sir.
On Saturday, we'll do the Saving Star Trek pre-show with the 2 episodes of Enterprise, and then on Monday we have Monday Kaiju Watch Party, Godzilla versus Megalon.
I'm looking forward to it. And unfortunately, the political show, I guess, is still on hold. I guess everyone could live without Admiral Teague's political views, which I would say, would you say this pretty much sums up about how politically savvy I am? I think the Humongous was highly underrated. The Humongous organized all those guys into a cohesive band. They accomplished a lot, but nobody talks about that now, do they? They talk about how he was mean to the people who didn't want to share the gas. I think that the Humongous would be a fantastic president, and I think the Humongous got things done the right way. More or less what you consistently hear from me about is logical.
Who's the
Yeah,
Humongous?
Right.
Road Warrior, the member.
Warrior.
Just walk
Oh,
away.
I thought you were talking about Chris Christie.
I was talking about movie, Bob. Oh man, you know what? I got a court favor with the guys from EFAP, or I'm never gonna get out of here. You know what? Let's go up to West Kegel's got stuff going on. West Kegel, sir. Oh, sir, what are you doing?
You never know where I'm going to be. I could show up anywhere at any point. But Wednesdays on Dadman's channel, I'm there. You know, we have a regular show, and I have to say, Canadian Spider-Man will be doing a travel stream in about 50 minutes. So and you'll find me there. So
You can drop the link in the stream if you
that's
want,
about it.
because if you have
Sure,
the
sure.
link, go ahead and drop it in the stream. I wish we saw Canadian Spider-Man more. He used to come on here once in a while. All right, moving on up. Krimwan, what are you doing? We know that you work for the Horseshoe Factory, where you make these special horseshoes and you control the world's luck. What else is going on?
Well, I'll probably be stalking you guys and then talking trash in the comments. That's my normal thing. But I think most of the weekend will be just chock full of trying to sleep as much as I can. Not going to happen after this TV show.
Yeah, no, I actually I needed some healing sleep. I felt like I needed to like a medicated kind of sleep. Okay, Krimwan, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, the great Krimwan with another great avatars, Spock in the puffer jacket. I love it. All right.
Oh yeah, we got to do a
Shawn
quick
go
grade
first. Did I miss
Yeah.
anyone? Oh no, that's not
Not
a
me.
grade. The question is extortion, yay or nay? So we'll go around the horn. Shawn,
Grade is it?
extortion,
Crap.
yay or nay?
No, I don't think it is. I think Kurtzman just hates what he's doing, and he's trying to siphon as much money from this as he possibly can, because I don't think anyone will ever hire him again.
I think
This is his ending.
I
and
think
he
he's
just-
through in Hollywood.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone will pick it up. I'm sure there are probably some non-competes that they're gonna make him sign, because Paramount is throwing out a lot of stuff, and maybe we're gonna get something. They're not gonna they will give him enough money to make him say I won't do anything else.
Yeah, I want to address RTN. That's hilarious. Super chat. Thank you for the 5 New Zealand dollars. Just realized Teag ranting nonsense sounds like Frank Miller's Electra Assassin being read out loud by Chris Walken on crack.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
You know what? We have fun here. I'm not as theatric as, say, Doomcock. I'm not as grounded as, say, Drinker. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm getting better at the video essays. My goal is to be more professional every week. I'm trying, guys. I re-listened to last week's show, and I've tried to adjust and improve from there on the Strange New Worlds. And I'm trying to adjust and improve on Star Trek this week. I don't know if Harbinger or Stratagem really needs a massive amount of slides. Maybe Harbinger. Harbinger might need slight video essay treatment. I'll see if I have time. I've been spending 4 and 5 hours making those video essays. They're pretty good, but I don't know if I can do it this week. All right. Thank you, Crazy Horse. Thank you for enjoying it. You know why it's great content? Because to us, it's a show. We call it content too sometimes, but like we don't think of what we make as content. When it's done and it's over, then it's content. It's always the next show. It's always the next performance. And I think that before we go, and of course I'll be back at 10 o'clock on Saturday with all of my friends doing Star Trek Enterprise, and I'll be with Germ on his show too. But you know, we're all really honored to be here and to have you guys as our audience, and we're all really honored that you have, you know, given us the amount of attention you have. Any moment of your precious time is more than we can deserve, and we come here to very, very, you know, professionally do the best we can to earn it. Is this still a hobby? Sure. Are a couple of people going to have a couple of drinks towards the end of the show? I don't care if my panelists want to loosen up with a drink or two. But at the same time, this is still the show. I feel like Mick Jagger. I've got the world's greatest rock and roll band behind me. I want to thank my panel from the bottom of my heart. And I want to thank every one of you. Saving Star Trek is made possible by the genius of Gene Roddenberry. And unfortunately, Strange New Lows is made possible by the ranting idiocy of Alex Kurtzman. And also the financial generosity of viewers like RRTNZ, who has another chat I didn't read. Wait, no, I did read that one. It's about how I sound like Christopher Walken on crack. I'm only from like 6 or 7 miles away from Walken, where I grew up. He's from Queens as well. In fact, when I lived in Astoria, I used to go to the Walken Bakery. It was open until at least 10 years ago. It might still be open. I don't know if they still run it. But
Was
like,
it a drive-through?
No, you walked right in. It was a walk-in. I got that. I see where you're going with that. It was a walk-in. They had a treadmill there so you could jog. Like, no, but what was funny is you walk in and there's a guy who looks just like Christopher Walken. He turns like, "Is there something you want?" You know. Wes
right.
Cagle said it. When you listen to fools, the rules. We'll have to do a stream about Dio one day.
Yes,
I
sir.
love you guys. It's just an undercut. It's my own real hair. Just so you know. I got called Space Trump and I got called Space Patton, so I think I have to prove now that I have my own real hair. It's real. The teeth are real for like weeks more. We'll see how much longer that lasts. But the financial generosity of viewers like Wes Cagle, RRTNZ, Crazy Horse, Miskatonic Madman, JT Kirk, Radioactive, Crimwan. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Ruby Hoove wasn't here today. I hope everything's okay. Say hi to the Hoove for me. Don't worry about it. You're allowed to leave the caps on. We're allowed to. I shout. Why shouldn't you? We love you all, and we'll see you next time. I think the guys, you've earned Sydney Sweeney in every way, shape, or form. And what a form. She's a knockout. No one minds if I take down the comments. We want to see that that Silicon. There is one Silicon Valley I would like to go to, sirs. Shawn, have you ever been to the Valley?
Yeah, no, I had not. Not that
Really?
one.
I've never been to California, but I've been to a few Silicon Valleys in my life.
Well,
if
not
you
the
know what
one
I'm
in
saying.
particular you're talking about.
I wonder if this might be a Flesh Valley. It's just
A
possible.
Fleshlight Valley?
By the way, I have actual footage of someone being convicted. Guys, before we go, have you seen this footage of how the show is spreading to different people? Here is someone now, we actually have actual footage. I was able to tap into their computer and turn on the camera. Here is someone actually becoming a member of our community. They clicked the join right after this. Who could it be?
That was so controversial. Sir. Sir.
Welcome to the Community Spock. Hit the like and follow. If you're coming through later, I love you. You're all the best. You've earned Sydney, sweetie. Oh, wait! What happened? I initiated Sydney Sweeney. Go, Sydney.
Can I finish, please?
Doesn't anyone see that this is wrong?